The 14th District Court, County of Washtenaw, State of Michigan is now in session. All those having business before the court draw near. The Honorable Judge Simpson presiding.
And good morning. Richard Dehart and Cynthia Dehart, or Dehart versus Bonnie Dehart.
Good morning, Your Honor. Frank Groner appearing for the plaintiffs, Richard Dehart, Cynthia Dehart. My P number is 34198. Mr. Dehart is present with me to my right, and Cynthia Dehart is present by Zoom.
Okay. And Bonnie Dehart, I do see you on the screen. If you could unmute. All right. This is a termination case. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Your Honor, this is a month-to-month rental agreement. A 30-day written notice was served on Bonnie Dehart on January 29th of this year, and her last day would have been February 28th, 2025. She has not moved, and we would move for immediate possession. There's also a supplemental complaint for unpaid rent for the months of March and April. Each month, $1,000, so the total is $2,000.
Mr. Dehart, Bonnie Dehart, I guess I got to clarify. What's your position on this, ma'am?
Unfortunately, I've had 2 car accidents this year, and that has affected my ability to pay rent. I also have no credit and no money saved to move. I simply don't have the money to move. I'm working 3 different jobs, Your Honor, and trying my hardest.
I didn't hear that last part, ma'am.
I said I'm working 3 different jobs, Your Honor. I'm trying my hardest to make the money.
Well,
I don't have anywhere to go.
Are you gonna seek the assistance of counsel in this case?
I guess not. I can't afford a lawyer.
There's free legal services available. What is Mr. Groner, what's the relationship of the parties?
So, Mr. and Mrs. Dehart, the plaintiffs, are current ex-in-laws of Bonnie Dehart. Bonnie was married to Mr. and Mrs. Dehart's son.
Okay. It was early in the morning. It was hard for me to follow that way you said it the first time. I got it though.
I know.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So, ma'am, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjourn it out. Well, I don't have, what's my next day?
16.
Okay. Counsel, I don't think I can issue I have to give her an opportunity to at least defend or move. Ma'am, you can contact legal services and see if there's any other type of remedy. What I may also suggest to you is that you contact Mr. Groner to see if you can work something out. My problem is normally, Mr. Groner, I'd adjourn it out a week. I do not have the next 2 weeks. I don't have second hearings the next 2 weeks because of, what is it, bench bar?
Yeah, the judicial conference.
Bench bar and a statewide judicial conference. So my next date, regrettably, is May 16th. Is the best that I'm going to be able to do on this for an adjournment.
Very good. What time, Your Honor?
All right. I'll adjourn this matter to May 16th, 2025 at 3 p.m. That is an in-person appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Let's call the case. Moorville Road, 10489 LLC versus David Pichan.
Good morning, Judge Simpson. My name is Scott Munzel of counsel with Deaver EB ISA, and I represent Moorville Road, 10489 LLC. With me on Zoom is also Joe Maynard, He's one of two members of the LLC. And this is our complaint for forfeiture of a land contract for property located at 1059 Overlook Drive in Saline Township against David Pichan, who is the land contract purchaser.
Mr. Pichan,
Yes, sir.
what's your position on this, sir?
I've taken care of all of the things that they requested. I've talked with Joe, and I believe everything has been worked out.
With all due respect, Your Honor, I do not think that's the case. My understanding is Mr. Maynard went out to the site last night. The makeshift building that Mr. Pichan constructed without building permits is still there as of last night. The problem the township had was, number one, it was constructed without a building permit, and there's also no sanitary sewage disposal facilities, and it appears Mr. Pichan is living there without, appropriate potable water and sanitary sewer. The township has cited him for the violations. I attached a letter to my complaint. And as far as I know, as of this morning, the issues have not at all been resolved. And, the essence of the problem, Judge, is that the LLC owns 5 other parcels that adjoin Mr. Pichan's parcel, and that his activities out there are prohibiting the sale of the other parcels. And so it's not, it's more than just, what he's doing on his own parcel. It's what he's doing is affecting the adjoining parcels as well. And that's, we tried to work with Mr. Pichan earlier. There have been numerous communications. He had earlier hired a different attorney that I had worked with, but we've been unable to resolve them. And, we were forced to file this land contract forfeiture action. So we would still nevertheless request that that it be decided today that the land contract is forfeited, so that we could try to, address the problems quickly. And for that matter, Judge, just kind of a technical point, Mr. Pichan has paid $50,000 of the $175,000 purchase price. So he normally would have a 90-day redemption period under MCL 600.5744, but 600.5744(3)E does allow for a shorter redemption period when there's a serious and continuing health hazard. And Joe Maynard went out there yesterday. He could smell the raw sewage. And so our position is that there is in fact a serious and continuing health hazard, and we'd ask the judge to set a shorter redemption period so that if Mr. Pichan doesn't solve the problem himself, that the land contract would be forfeited, the writ of possession would be issued, and then Joe can go and clean the site up himself. So I would ask the judge that the redemption period be no more than 30 days. We'd like it to be shorter, but we want to be reasonable. And then just to follow up on that, the land contract does allow for the award of attorney's fees if they have to enforce it. To date, they've incurred $2,620 in attorney's fees, $130 for the filing fee, and $150 for the service fee, for a total of $2,900. So we would ask also that the judge award that today.
Has the Mr. Menzel, hold on, sir. Has the township actually cited the owners?
The township, according to the January 28th letter that I attached, they told him that he is in violation of the Saline Township zoning ordinance. And,
yes, sir.
I did talk to Fred Lucas, the attorney for the township, and their position is that he is in violation. They have not gotten around to further enforcement action. They kind of were hoping that this would get resolved by the parties. But that has not happened. So, yeah, I
All
mean,
right, Mr. Pichan,
Yes, sir.
you just indicated to me that you were, I guess I assume we're in contact with the owners, and you believe that everything's resolved?
No, Your Honor. I have done some things. I have moved out of the trailer, and I'm going to contact the owner to remove it. And as far as the building goes, I will have that torn down and everything removed. I was getting ready to have the well drilled. So anything else that they would like me to do, I would be more than willing to do to keep the property. I was not notified by the township, though.
Okay. But you're gonna take down that structure?
Yes, sir. It was
When are you
for,
gonna do, when are you
Um,
gonna do that?
I can start on it right away. I have a worker, and between him and I, we will take it down.
Judge, not to, interrupt, but I appreciate Mr. Pickens' willingness to take it down. The important question is, when is he going to finish? When is he going to perform and have the trailer and the makeshift building removed?
The
That's-
trailer immediately. Just seeing that I get my things on, I have to go and get another storage unit at Sauk Trail. And I would need probably 2 weeks to get the structure down.
All right. I'm gonna give you an opportunity so that if necessary, you can seek the advice of counsel. But I am gonna order that you get that building, that non-compliant building off or torn down, as well as the trailer turned down. I will adjourn this to May 16th, my next available date, 2025 at 3 p.m. That's an in-person hearing.
Okay,
So you'll have to be here, but I want that building and that trailer out. And then you can see exactly where we are with reference to the property.
sure.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it.
Thank you, folks. Everybody have a
Thank
good
you.
weekend.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
Case of Town Center Place versus Viola Hines.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Jackie Snyder Powder on behalf of plaintiff.
Ms. Hines,
Yes.
hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Pardon?
Oh, I didn't know if you could hear me or not.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you.
Okay.
Okay. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
This is a non-payment, Your Honor. The past due rent is
Hear that?
1,000. Sorry?
No, I don't know who that was. That's somebody else. Go ahead, counsel.
Okay. The past due amount is $1,008. Court cost of $177.40 for a total of $1,185.40.
Okay. Ms. Hines, how are you going to get that paid?
I applied for SCR with the Department of Human Services, and I also have an appointment on the 28th with Hawk.
On the 28th of this month?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and they should, I mean, the figure, they should be able to help you, I think, if your circumstances haven't changed. Okay, what I'm gonna do, and I think you heard, counsel, I don't have a date until the 16th
I did.
as of thing,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
May 16th, 2025, I'll adjourn it out to that date at 3 p.m. That's an in-person hearing, okay, Ms. Hines?
Okay, I'll be there.
All right, now if Hawk's gonna pay, tell them to try to get in touch with the landlord so we can try to see if we can get this thing resolved, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, Ms. Hines, you're looking well. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
All righty, take care.
Uh-huh.
Have a good one, Your Honor.
Yes, take care, Counsel. Beal Properties versus Kendrick Osborne.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brent Tinger for the plaintiff.
Ms. Osborne, not here. You paid for second service. If you raise your right hand, you may take a default. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. I am showing the rent to retain in this at $6,290.97. Cost of $175 for a redemptive total of $6,465.97. This to be a default judgment of possession only with a writ in 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that's by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested. Writ to issue 10 days.
Thank you,
Alrighty,
Judge.
Thank you. All righty. That's it for that. So we'll stand in recess.
District Court is now back in session. The Honorable Judge Judge Simpson presiding.
And good morning. Court does call the case of Chittister Place Apartments versus James Waters.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Paul Hughes, P 31986, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
James Waters? You have it. He is not checked in. If you'd like to take a default, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you, Your Honor. Plaintiff requests the default judgment for possession only. The amount of rent due is $188 per the landlord's ledger, $175 in court costs, for a total of $363. We would ask that a judgment be entered requiring the payment by the, I believe the redemption date would be the 5th of May for a writ to issue.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that's by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested with the writ to issue in 10 days.
Thank you, Judge.
Chittister Place, I think that's it for you, but Chittister
Yeah.
Place versus Sackett Ferguson and Chittister Place versus Blair Corser. Those matters are dismissed on plaintiff's motion without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor. We'll see you at 1.
All right, sir. Evergreen Apartments versus Nancy Matthews and the Nubia Robinson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Ms. Robinson here? There she is. Hello. Okay, what is plaintiff's claim?
I have a balance including court costs of $2,709.33. I also have a note that Ms. Robinson has a hawk appointment. I think the date would be 4/28.
Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, then what I will do, my next available date because of judicial conferences and other meetings is actually not until May 16th. So with that in place, May 16th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
That means
Thank
we
you, Ms.
get
Robinson.
2 Fridays off.
Yeah, it's 2. Well, I wish I had 2 Fridays off. They're not, but I just don't have to do this. Evergreen Apartments versus Jamaica Williams.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Jamaica Williams.
Jamaica. Okay, there she is. You got her. Okay. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
I have a balance including court costs of $2,579.02.
All right. And Ms. Williams,
Yes.
how are you intending on getting that paid?
I'm working with DHS right now. My first SER was denied because they didn't realize that my job actually said they were willing to pay $1,500. I just have to get help with the $900. So they told me to resubmit my application today. And then once they get the application, they will go through it again.
Okay, so you got DHS that you're working with. Okay, and they were gonna, you said they were gonna pay 1,500?
No, my job, at my job, University of Michigan, they said once I get help with paying the $900 balance down, then they were gonna pay $1,500.
Got it. Okay, so how many people are in your house?
Just one.
Okay, so when you go through DHS, problem's gonna be that your maximum award on that is gonna be about $410.
And then I was gonna pay a balance, part of it on April 30th. I told Sydney that I was gonna try to make a partial payment April 30th towards it. So
Your
Okay,
Honor.
from your own funds.
yes,
Got it. Okay, so you have kind of a plan in place to do that. What's
Your
your
Honor.
monthly rent?
That's what you're going into.
I pay $949, but that's not including the utilities. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. If I adjourn this out, you're gonna have to find a way. If I take the 15 off, you're gonna be about 1,000 or 900, like you said, plus court costs, but you're gonna be about 1,000. And then there's gonna be 900 that clicks in. So you're gonna still be behind a little bit. Have you reached out to Hawk also, or no?
I have reached out to Hawk. They told me that they could not help me, but they told me to reach out to the Peace Clinic in Ann Arbor, and that they sometimes will help. And I did leave them a voicemail. I have not heard back from them. And DHS also told me to reach out to Salvation Army, and I haven't heard back from them yet either.
Okay. Well, you got a partial plan in place. We got to figure out how we're going to take care of May and everything. But what I'll do is, well, you may actually get, well, I'll adjourn it out to May 16th, 2025, 1 p.m. Okay, ma'am?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Evergreen Apartments versus Samantha Packer.
Jillian Ingen for plaintiff.
Samantha Packer. I just have two screens, but I'm not seeing her.
I don't see anyone.
And we do not have her checked in. If you'd like to take a default, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead.
Thank you. This is a case for non-payment of rent. Rent to retain possession is $2,534.61. Court costs of $172 for a total of $2,706.61. Plaintiff is requesting a default judgment for possession only with a writ to issue after 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that's by default for possession, redemption amount, in the amount requested, writ to issue in 10 days. Evergreen Apartments versus Keith Young.
Jillian Ingen for plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Young. Do you have a camera?
I do, but it's not really working.
Okay. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
I have a balance including court costs of $2,914.61. Your Honor, this is also a case where the lease expires on May 4th, and I believe that Mr. Young has submitted his notice to vacate because the potential adjourn date would be May 16th. I just want Mr. Young to know that if he does vacate after the 4th, then and before the next hearing, then we will be submitting a dismissal on this case.
You understand that, Mr. Young?
A little bit. So she's saying if I leave before my lease is up, then it will be dismissed. Is that what I'm getting there?
As long as you're out on or before, I think might make sense to leave after your lease expires, to move out as after the 4th. As long as you're out before and you've turned in your keys before the next hearing on the 16th, so on or before the 15th, As long as you're out on or before the 15th, this case will be dismissed.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I plan on leaving, once my lease is up on before May 4th,
Okay.
on or before May 4th. And I plan to have this balance paid in full, by the end of the month, Friday, May 30th.
Okay.
Okay. All right, real good. So here's what I'm gonna do, sir. I'm gonna adjourn this to May 16th, my next available date, 2025 at 1 p.m. Okay, if you do all that, this can get dismissed.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, take care now.
You too.
Evergreen Apartments versus Charlotte Chimbria.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Sure. Oh, there she is.
Hi.
Okay. Hello. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
I have a balance including court costs of $2,703.19.
All right. Ma'am, how are you intending on getting that paid?
Well, I have $1,200 right now, but I did walk out on my job because I'm having mental health issues, and I'm in the hospital right now. I don't have a job right now, but I think I could try and get one soon.
Okay. All right. Okay, hold on. Okay. Let's see what we can work through here. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. So how long, do you know how long you'll be in the hospital for?
I don't know how long. They say 5 to 7 days, so maybe 5 more days. Yeah.
Okay, let's do the, okay. Let's do this. Okay, we received some communication, all right, regarding your case from it looks like from a social worker or somebody from CMH, okay? So here's what I'm gonna do. And this may be over plaintiff's objection, but I'm gonna do it this way. I don't want you worrying about this right now. I want you worrying about yourself, okay? All right, and I'm not gonna ask that you pay anything. I don't know that you're in a position to quite get that where you need to get it anyway. And so I'm gonna adjourn this out to May 16th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Okay? And then we'll figure out exactly where you are at that point, and we'll figure out how we're gonna get this solved. Okay? Is that fair enough?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's what we'll do. All right, Mr. Breer, take care of yourself, please. Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes.
before Ms. Chimera logs off, I understand that she was planning on reaching out to Hawk. Were you able to do that, Ms. Chimera?
No,
Okay.
I reached out to community mental health first, and then I went to the ER.
Yep, so
All
they
right.
might be able to help you with that, getting that application in, just so that, you have more options available to you, okay?
All right. So, Ms. Chimbria, here's what I want you to do. Worry about you right now. Okay. We'll see you on the 16th, and then we'll figure out a way to get this solved. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Take care. Glencoe Hills versus Tillman McCommons.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
See here. McCommons. Gee, screen still. You got him?
No, we don't.
We don't have him. All right. And if you'd like to take a default, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hold it. You have who?
I have them signed in, but he's not in.
Oh, you have them. Oh, I see it. They're right there. McCollins, I need you to unmute and turn on your camera. Just unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Can you see me?
No, we can't see you.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to cut on my camera.
All right, while you figure that out, what is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Your Honor, I have a balance including court costs of $2,409.38.
And
Yes, and I'm
all right, sir, how are you intending? There you are. We got you now.
okay, great.
Okay, so
I'm
how are
working with
you?
Hawk right now.
Okay, do you have an appointment?
Yes, my appointment is on the 29th, Your Honor. And I'm also working with the housing for seniors.
Okay.
And I have applied with DHS also, Your Honor.
Gotcha. And you applied for DHS?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll let that process work out. Let's see where you come to. You're probably going to have to worry about what your May rent also with this. So what I'll do is I'll adjourn this to May 16th, 2025, 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Yes, sir. That's
Your
an
Honor,
in-person hearing.
sorry. Your Honor, just for your own notes, we're looking at when we come back, the balance is probably going to be somewhere around $3,888.15.
Okay.
At the next hearing.
Okay, is that in person, Your Honor?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Glencoe Hills versus Tanara Abner.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Abner. Oh, there she is. All right. Okay. And what is the claim in this case? Miss Abner is here.
I have a balance including court costs of $3,385.22.
Miss Abner, how are you intending on getting that paid?
If I can just get the judgment, I can submit it and then I'll have the funds. I have like something through my job that I can access funds. So I just need certain paperwork from the courts.
Okay. So, all right. So you want a judgment? So
yeah, I
that
guess
you can-
whatever I'll receive from you guys, that's the only thing that they'll take.
Ms. Abner, how long do you think it's going to take them to get the funding to you?
Today's Friday, so probably like Tuesday or Wednesday. It's direct deposit, so it comes really fast.
Okay.
So if you have a judgment, you get it to them, they then deposit it, and you can pay it.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, if you want, we can add no writ without a hearing, just because this would be a judgment at a first.
Yeah, this is the first hearing, and typically we won't, but I get your position on this, and otherwise we won't issue it until the 16th, and so that's not going to help you. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grant a judgment for possession. I'm finding no tribal issue because you're not disputing that. I'll issue the judgment, $3,085.22.
Yes.
And if you get that over, I'll make sure that gets signed today so that she can begin that process.
And Your Honor, this is by hearing.
Yes, by hearing.
Thank you.
Could they possibly
And no writ without a hearing. I'm sorry?
Can they email that to me, or is it hand delivered?
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Why don't you put your, I get it, because you want it.
Yeah.
Why don't you put your, that only goes to you, right, Ann?
I actually just sent her a direct message to send me her email.
Okay, send your email. Once they send it to us, they get my signature, we'll make sure that we get it over to you.
Okay, thank you.
Fair enough? Okay. Take care.
You too.
Your Honor,
Who's
this is
that?
this is Samantha Packer. You had
Okay.
called me earlier, but I couldn't access my speaker. It's at Evergreen Apartments, Samantha Packer.
Your Honor, we took a
Okay,
default.
we'll have to find the file and maybe call it back up. Okay, ma'am?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Glencoe Hills versus Raymond Sendek.
Jillian Ingen for plaintiff.
I'm here.
Okay, there's Mr. Sendek. Okay. What's plaintiff's claim in this case?
I have a balance including court costs of $3,604.22.
All right, sir, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I paid $800 more on that this morning. I meant to pay it last night, but I got busy just with work. That like about a month ago, my wife's account that had the rent and everything, someone tried to get into it, so it's been locked for a month. So I went from having my rent money about to pay it, her account's still locked. So I had to go and move bills around to start paying it the way I am. So I think it's like another week of max until they can unlock it. And then her account will be unlocked with that money, plus with the money I'm making from working.
So you paid $800 this morning. You think your account will be unlocked next week. And at that point, are you going to be able to pay the balance left over plus May, or?
I probably wouldn't be able to do all of May, but I would be able to do the balance left over and starting into May. The account's unlocked next week. I would be able to do that, and then say you're deferring everything to the 15th or 16th when your next case would be. I could probably have most of May's paid, if not all, by then.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll adjourn this out to May 16, 2025, 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing, sir. So if it's not paid, you need to show up at the court. And Miss Ingen, you don't see the $800 payment.
No,
Okay,
but
not yet.
my client did indicate that Mr. Sendek had said he was going to make a payment. They didn't know what amount, but he had said he was going to make a payment today. So that comports with what
he did. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. We'll see you on the 16th.
All right. Thank you so much.
Gulfside Lakes versus Latanya Pugh Powell.
Jillian Ingen for plaintiff.
Let's put it down here. Pugh Powell. They are not checked in. If you'd like to take a default.
Please, Your
well,
Honor.
you've already been sworn, so go ahead.
Thank you. I have rent retained possession of $1,483.62. Court costs are $172 for a total of $1,655.62. Plaintiff is requesting a default judgment for possession only with a writ issue after 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff. That is by default for possession. Redemption amount, any amount requested, writ issue in 10 days. Gulfside Lakes versus Lanisha Williams.
Jillian
I'm here.
Ingen for plaintiff.
I'm here, Your Honor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, I'm here. I'm just working in the field, so it's like a HIPAA violation. So, but I'm here.
Oh, I got you. Okay. All right. What is the claim in this?
I have a balance including court costs of $3,250.68.
All right, Miss Williams, how were you intending on getting that paid?
I'm gonna take care of it, and I probably need like 2 weeks to get that balance, but I know I'll be going into the other payment for May as well. So just a couple weeks that I can take care of the 3,000. But I don't know.
Okay, so you think you can have 3,000 and that you can have that paid by the 9th?
The 9th, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that in file. You'll have 3,000 by the 9th. And then I'll adjourn your case out to May 16, 2025 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing. Get what you can paid, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Judge Simpson.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Gulfside Lakes versus Samantha Gonzalez.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Samantha Gonzalez, not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a case for non-payment of rent. Rent to retain possession is $2,416.46. Court costs are $172 for a total of $2,588.46. Plaintiff is requesting a default judgment for possession only with a writ to issue after 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession, redemption amount, in the amount requested, writ to issue in 10 days. Gulfside Lakes versus Betty Nichols.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Nichols. All right, I already have a rental assistance form. All right, what's the claim in this case?
I have a balance including court costs of $3,287.67.
All right, Ms. Nichols, how are you intending on trying to get that paid?
So half of the balance will be made this upcoming Wednesday. I'm on a short-term disability leave from work. My short-term disability claim just got approved. All of March's arrears, to my understanding, a live check was mailed out the whole 7-10 business days for me to get the live check. My March arrears live check that's coming is in the amount of $4,400. So we'll take care of March and April, and I should be good for May.
Okay, I see. It's a complicated plan, but you sound like you got a plan. Okay, all right. So you're gonna get you're getting a big check, which is actually a retro of some things.
Correct.
You'll get that. You'll be able to pay it. There may be some balance. You should be good for May, you think?
I definitely will be, because, like I said, it's approved, and I'm getting the live money, but the arrears is the only thing that they have to cut a live check for. So
got it. Okay. Here's what I'll do. I'm going to adjourn this out to the 16th, May 16th, 2025, 1 p.m. When those come in, get those paid over to the landlord, then we'll see exactly where we are on that date and see if we can get this resolved. How's that sound?
all right, sound amazing to me.
All right, very
Bye
good.
now.
You take care.
You too.
All right, be well. Gulfside Lakes versus Bonnie Jacques.
Here, Your Honor.
And Brandon Jacques.
Yeah.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
All right, and Brandon is here. Anita Camera, what's the claim?
I have a balance including court costs of $2,853.59.
All right. Mr. Jacques, how are you guys going to get this paid?
I'm working with my employer. I have some projects that are supposed to be paid out in the next week or two. So hopefully that should cover everything.
All right. Will it cover May, you think, or no?
Yeah, it should.
Okay. So you think you'll have everything paid in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll adjourn this out May 16th, 2025 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing. But if you get it all paid, then they can issue a dismissal prior to you getting here. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Gulfside Lakes versus Dewan Winter Mate.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
I do see a Dewan Mate. There you go. Okay. Let's see here. What's the claim in this case?
I have a balance including court costs of $1,192.94.
All right. Mr. Mate, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I recently reached out to DHS, and I'm also planning to do some DoorDash to get the rest of the amount that's not paid.
Okay. All right. What you'll need to do is you'll need to come down to the court, get a rental assistance form, fill that out, Submit that to the court with your DHS tracking number. You have to do that by next Wednesday, okay?
Okay, so I have to come down to the court to get the rental assistance.
Right, you can get that form there, or you can use the QR code on the screen if you can see it. You're on a phone, so you'll have to swipe over.
Okay.
Or you'll see the form in your rental, in the packet that was served on you. You'll see the rental assistance form. So that just needs to be filled out and gotten to the court before Wednesday. You muted yourself.
Okay.
Okay, you got that? So I'll
Yes,
adjourn
sir.
this to May 16th, 2025, 1 p.m.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Gulfside Lakes versus Dion Brown.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Mr. Brown? Oh, there you are. Okay. All right. What's the claim in this case?
I have a balance including court costs of $684.94.
All right, Mr. Brown, how are we going to get that paid?
I'll be able to pay that balance on the 30th.
On the 30th?
Yes.
All right, so what I'm going to indicate is balance on the 30th. I'll adjourn this out to May 16th, 2025 at 1 p.m. If you get it paid before April closes out, so if you get it paid on the 30th, it's likely, well, they'll dismiss the case, okay?
Okay.
All right, you
Thank
take
you.
care of yourself.
Have a
You're
good one.
welcome. You too. Court calls the case, Gulfside Lakes versus Christopher Knapp.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Knapp. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
I have a balance including court costs of $2,669.59.
Was that 2669?
Yes, sir.
55? All right.
59.
Mr. Knapp, how are you going to get that paid?
Well, Your Honor, I was recently laid off and I'm supposed to be going back to work on Monday so I can start generating funds that way. And then I also have family members that are willing to assist me in getting me kind of back to square one on this. I didn't know that some of the programs were available. I'm going to make some calls today and try and get some of that stuff in motion.
Okay. All right. So you just started back to work, so you're not sure where you're going to.
I got laid off because they were doing a construction project at where I worked, and it's completed now. So I'm going back to the same place I worked before.
Okay, so Ms. Engine, what will he owe with May included?
Once May kicks in, I have a balance of $3,767.26.
All right. Sir, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to adjourn this to May 16th, 2025, 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing. What I'm going to suggest that you certainly do between now and then, if you got family members, reach out for assistance. Get as much of that paid down as you can.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll take a look at where we are on the 16th. Fair
Okay.
enough?
Yep. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Court calls the case of Huron Vista versus Sabria Williams.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. Emily Brule, P88273. I have not filed a limited appearance yet, but I'm in the process of filling one out now. Is
Okay.
there a way that the counsel could approach the bench virtually, like in a Zoom room?
Can't really do that with what I've got set up right now. Well, I may be able to do it. They're the only ones in this plot. Okay, so let me get to the end. I'll pass this. Let me get to the end and then I can call it and shut the courtroom off. So
Thank you, Your Honor.
I can make it happen. I just can't do it right this second. All right, thank you. Huron Vista versus Shanice Morris.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay. You're Ms. Norris?
Yes, I'm Miss Morris.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. She's iPhone. Got her? Okay. All right, what is plaintiff's claim?
Your Honor, I have a balance including court costs of $1,423. But I also do want to note for Ms. Morris that there was something sent to your email with a screening for an ESA, and once that's completed, they're going to take off $650. But that screening just needs to be completed.
I got that paperwork and got it into them, and I haven't heard anything. Is there any way I can have a 1 week adjournment?
When did you get that into your landlord?
I got that letter in when give me 1 second.
Okay, sorry.
Where'd you go? Oh, she's getting that. Where'd you go, Miss Morris? What? She went to get something.
I think she went to get something.
Sorry about that. I got that.
Yeah, okay.
I got that into them on 4/11/25.
Okay, I will make a note.
And I can also take it over there to them again if I need to.
Okay. Actually, that might be helpful, just so that they have it, if that's not too much.
Okay.
Of a
Once I'm done here with you all, I can take it over back to them and let them get another copy.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that takes off a significant amount. Ms. Morris, how are you going to get the balance paid?
I'm working with Hawk and SOS as well as legal aid as well. So that's why I was
Okay, so do you have a Hawk appointment?
I just had one on Monday.
You just had it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm just waiting to hear back. And I got them all the information that they needed. And my legal aid attorney asked me to ask for an adjournment. That way we can get everything situated, squared away, and paid off.
Okay. Okay, I'm with you. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to get that paperwork over to the office.
Yes, sir.
You're working with Hawk, and then I'll adjourn this out to May 16th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Okay?
Okay. Is that in person?
That's in person, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Huron Vista versus Benita Allen.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Benita Holman. It's formerly Allen.
Yeah, okay. I think we might have done that before. But okay. All right. Miss Holman.
Yes.
All right. What's the claim?
I have a balance including court costs of $4,020.
All right. Miss Holman, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I applied for DHS for assistance. I also have divorce payout that I'm supposed to be receiving. It's actually delinquent, but I just went to court yesterday for it, and the judge gave him 2 weeks to pay it.
Hence the name change.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. So, not to get too much into your business, if that's paid out,
that'll cover my balance.
That'll cover the balance plus will that cover your May rent too, or you don't know?
Correct.
Okay, to cover everything. Is that right? I'm sorry.
Correct. That's correct.
That was the question. Okay, thank you. All right. So what I will do, May 16th, 2025, 1 p.m. And out of curiosity, ma'am, what judge was that before? Was that here local?
Hamoud.
Hamoud?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome.
All right. We'll see you then.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. Peninsula Place versus Brianna Johnson.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Ms.
I'm
Johnson?
here. I'm trying to
Okay,
work computer.
we got you.
Oh,
Okay. All right. What is the claim in this case?
I have a balance including court costs of $2,053.20.
All right. And how are you intending on getting that paid?
So I should be getting paid probably within the next week, but I have a appointment with Hawk today at 11:30.
So you have an appointment with Hawk today?
Yes.
All right. So between now and the 16th of May, how much do you think you can pay?
All of it, including my May rent.
Okay, but that you need help from Hawk to do that, right?
Yeah, plus I should be getting paid soon though.
All right. All right. Get in what you can get paid, and then I'll adjourn this to May 16th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Okay, that's an in-person hearing, ma'am. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. The Haven versus David Demera.
Jillian Ingen for plaintiff.
I'm here.
Okay, you got him. He's Samsung.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
I have a balance including court costs of $1,767.09.
All right. Sir, how are you intending on getting that paid?
How much was it again?
1,000. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
$1,767.09.
Okay, I was gonna make a payment today and then follow that up with a payment on May 9th. And both those payments were gonna be for the payment today should get me up to April, and then May 9th should get me back up to date. So
okay, so how much were you making? How much of a payment were you making today?
$1,500.
Okay. So you're gonna pay $1,500 today, and then you think May 9th you're gonna be able to do the balance plus your May rent.
Yes.
Okay. So then what I'll do then, sir, is I'll adjourn this out May 16th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Make that payment today, and then you should be clear. If you get everything paid by the 9th, they're gonna dismiss the case out, and you're gonna be good.
Okay, we'll do, sir.
All right, very good. You have a great weekend.
Thank you. God bless you.
The Haven versus Mary Heineman.
Jillian Ingen for plaintiff.
Hello.
Hello. All right, she's here. All right, what do we have?
I have a balance including court costs of $2,823.45.
All right, ma'am, how are you intending on getting that paid?
I have a meeting with Hawk on the 28th. I have submitted my SCR. I am starting a job on the next month on the 27th.
Okay, so you got a plan in place, right?
I got a plan.
Okay, all right, so what would be her balance coming into May?
Rent is $1,671 plus there are utilities that are going to be less than $100, I think. So we're looking at, here I go trying to do math, 4,500.
Okay, so I'm just trying to, and you said you applied through DHS, you did an SER. How many people are in your household?
Just one, me.
Just you? So that would net you probably a maximum reward of about 410. Just trying to figure out how we're going to make this math work. But if it's 410, you start a job on the 27th of this month or next month?
Of next month. I do have I have a family member who is willing to help me out for the month of May's rent if I can get the assistance.
Okay.
Yes.
If you can get this, okay, gotcha. So, all right. So here's what we'll do. I will adjourn this out since she has that appointment there. May 16th, 2025 at 1 p.m. That's an in-person hearing, ma'am. And what I'm going to also ask you to do is in your paperwork, there was a rental assistance form. From your SER, you should get a tracking number. You need to fill that form out, get it to the court by next Wednesday or this Wednesday, upcoming Wednesday. Okay?
Can do.
All right. Thank you very much. You take care. Have a great weekend.
Too. Bye.
Evergreen Apartments. This is a recall. Evergreen Apartments versus Samantha Packer.
Jillian Engen for plaintiff.
Hello.
Hello, Ms. Packer. Okay.
How do I get my video on?
Pardon?
How do I turn on my
You'd
video?
have to hit there should be something that looks like a camera on your screen. And you'd have to click on that. Oh, you muted yourself.
All right. Well, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. All right, wait, there was a judgment issued out. I won't grant the judgment at this point. You were trying to get on. But you owe $2,706 and what was the change on that?
61.
And 61 cents.
That was
And Ms. Packer, how were you intending on getting that paid?
Could you tell me again what it is? 27?
2706.61.
Okay. Well, the reason I haven't paid 2 months of rent is because my landlord cut me off from the automatic payment online. And that's the only way I can pay it because I don't have a local bank. So I had the money, but she wouldn't accept my online payment.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
There were a series of not sufficient fund payments, and it's their policy is if you have too many not sufficient fund payments in a row, then they require that you pay using certified funds at WIS locations.
Okay, so in order to pay it, there's a local store that you're supposed to go to, and you pay it there in cash, and that is CVS. So yesterday I walked down to CVS to pay it and found that CVS is closed now. There is no CVS.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, but nothing's working. I've had the money. I've had the money all along.
Okay, I gotcha.
Your Honor, can you pay into escrow?
Yeah, you can. Do you have the cash, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. You have the whole 2706.61?
Yes.
All right. So what I need you to do is get to the courthouse, this courthouse 14A1 by the Sheriff's Department. Okay.
Okay.
And bring your cash and then just pay that into court escrow.
Okay. So how am I supposed to get the cash?
Well, how are you going to pay at the CVS store?
Well, I would go to various ATMs and withdraw the money from my account.
Okay, then you're going to have to try to do that the same way.
Okay.
Okay, but the escrow needs to be paid in cash.
Okay. So where is the courthouse?
All right, you're at Evergreen Apartments, so
Yeah.
we're on Washtenaw Avenue. Okay.
Okay.
So basically all the way down Carpenter. You know where Carpenter is, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So we're the next major intersection. We're up. If you kept going across, then we're behind the mobile station that's there on the corner
Okay,
in that place, okay?
okay, thank you.
So how long will it take you think to do all this and get it paid? Can you get it done by Can you get it done by Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll start working on it today.
All right, fantastic.
All right.
Then get that. So I'll adjourn this out to May 16, 2025 at 1. But if you get all of it into escrow and everything is in there, so you have 2706.61 at least in escrow, then it's likely plaintiff will dismiss because effectively you then paid April.
Okay.
You paid everything up. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Packer. All right. So technically, I guess I'm not.
We can put the courtroom into a breakout room.
So you're going to put the courtroom into a breakout. All right. So put the courtroom into a breakout room with Ms. Engine and counsel, and then.
Engine, you want your iPad too, so they can see you?
Yes.
Commission is now back in session. Judge Simpson, goodbye.
May be seated. Court calls the case of Glencoe Hills versus Angela Stoker.
Area appearing for plaintiff. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Angela Stoker. I don't have her. Not here. Would you like to take a default?
Yes, Your Honor. So this is the case where the balance was $50 in late fees.
The balance was $50.
Correct. Your Honor, I don't have authority to waive the late fee. She's not here.
Okay.
I've requested.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, help you God?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, the rent to retain possession is $50, and that is the total judgment amount. Plaintiff is requesting entry of a default judgment for possession with a writ to issue after 10 days if the total amount remains unpaid. I'm assuming no writ without hearing.
That is correct. No writ without a hearing. Judgment to the plaintiff, that's by default of possession.
And we will set it aside if she pays.
Understood. All right. Glencoe Hills versus Susan Smith.
Area for plaintiff.
Oh, she's in jail. Ms. Smith, I need you to unmute. Is she actually on a phone? That's an odd looking phone.
Yeah,
She is. Okay, Ms. Smith, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. How much is owing on this?
This
Is a termination. Smith?
Yes.
Okay, what's your position on this termination?
I am in the process of packing my belongings and moving out.
You're moving out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when are you gonna be out?
I should be out by Monday.
Oh, by this Monday?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. If you're moving out, I'm gonna find no tribal issue after a hearing. I'm gonna grant them a judgment for possession. And they can't forcibly remove you out until, what's 10 days? The 5th. No writ before May 5th. All right?
Okay. Yes, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Take care.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Gulfside Lakes versus Patrice Haywood.
Horrific area for plaintiff.
Thought that was you over there. I couldn't see because of the glass. You just sitting over there in the corner trying to hide. How are you? State your name.
Patrice Haywood.
Come all the way up to the podium. All right, where are we on this case, Ms. Akins?
Your Honor, I believe that, you know, maybe 30 minutes ago, I got an email from Legal Services indicating that payment had been mailed. Is that right, Ms. Haywood?
Yes, they said it should arrive by May 2nd, is what she said.
For the balance, you know, plaintiff's concern is April rent, but how?
Or April or May, you mean?
I'm sorry, May rent.
Okay, and how much is your monthly rent now?
$15.49.
Okay, how are you gonna get that paid? Do you know?
That's, yes, well, my check doesn't come until the 5th, so.
Of May? So let me ask you this, if they sent out the check that's gonna clear you through April and you get a check on the 5th, are you gonna be able to have May paid on the 5th?
I hope so, yes. Hopefully it will cover everything.
Hopefully it'll cover everything. Okay, so let me ask you this. If it doesn't cover everything, then what's your plan? You have to
Second,
wait till the next check,
the 9th,
the
yes.
9th? So you get a check on the 5th and the 9th?
Yes, it's partial on the 5th and the full one will come on the 9th.
Gotcha. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. Then that one check's on the way that should clear you through April. You got a plan to cover yourself in May. I'm not available the first 2 Fridays because of judicial conferences and events. So I'm going to adjourn this to May 16th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Okay. And so hopefully
yes,
it all works out. You'll have it paid, right?
That's right.
And then you won't have to come see me.
Oh.
You gonna miss me? Say when you take care. Hamilton Crossing 2 versus Tiffany Roots.
Marissa Gazari, the plaintiff.
Tiffany Roots? No response. You've been sworn. If you'd like to take a default, you may.
Was I sworn?
Yes, for the $50.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Okay. How could we forget? No. Pardon?
Angela?
No. Okay. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the rent to retain possession is $760, court costs of $176 for a total redemption of $936. Plaintiff is requesting entry of a default possession with the right to issue after 10 days. The total amount remains unpaid.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that's by default for possession, redemption amount, any amount requested with the writ issue 10 days.
Thank you.
Oh. What's your name, ma'am? Angela. Oh, come on now. Let me recall that. Thank you. State your name for the record.
Angela Stoker.
All right, I didn't hear you call your last name, you just did. So we did call your case. We took a judgment.
Okay.
For a whole $50.
Which is the late fee.
Yeah, do you have it or?
I will.
When will you have it?
For May. So I'm just added on to my rent. I'm just pay it with that.
Okay.
I didn't want to pay it, but I'm going to.
Okay, but when are you gonna pay your May rent?
The 30th, 29th? It'll be paid April. It's in a couple days.
Stoker, you're confusing me. All right, so
I'm gonna pay it in a couple days.
you're gonna pay it like right around May 1st.
Yeah.
Probably last part of
So
May.
when I get my statement for my May rent, I'm just gonna add
You're gonna add the 50 onto it. Okay, so you were gonna move to set it aside if she paid it, correct? Okay, so here's what I'll do, Mr. Stoker. We'll leave the judgment that we entered in place.
It's fine.
You'll get that paid, and then they're gonna set aside this
And
judgment.
I don't have to come back.
You don't want to come back?
No, I've been here 4 times.
Come back and just say hi to me. She said, I don't want to come back. She just say all that. It hurt my
I'll see you on YouTube.
No. All right.
Thank
We'll
you.
leave that and then you don't have to come back.
Okay.
All right. You have a great
You
weekend.
too.
Thank you.
Huron Vista Apartments versus Angie Evans.
Marissa Gazeri for plaintiff.
Angie Evans, no response. You may proceed.
Your Honor, okay, I think this was a case we were trying to do a COD with, so.
Yeah.
If she, if she later does sign a COD, we will set aside this judgment.
All right.
However, the rent to retain possession is $3,304, court costs of $176, for a total redemption of $3,480. Plaintiff is requesting entry of a default judgment for possession with a writ to issue after 10 days if the total amount has been paid.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested with the writ issue in 10 days. Court calls case of Huron Vista versus Deanna Rogers. Hello. What's your name?
Deanna Rogers.
All right. And where are we with Miss Rogers' case?
The outstanding balance is $4,810. My recollection from the last hearing was that Ms. Rogers was going to speak to legal services regarding to make sure that she understood what was being offered to her regarding the forgiveness plan and HAWK assistance. I can tell you that the update I received from my client was that she has applied for assistance, but they are waiting for income verification before SOS will approve anything.
That's totally wrong.
Okay.
True. I just talked to somebody a day ago, whatever, to ask if I could move out in 30 days. Cause I can't, I told them, I explained my situation that I can't afford it and I'm mentally disabled and I haven't been working.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You need to move. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So where are you gonna go?
It's a hotel.
Huh?
A hotel. Probably to a hotel.
Pardon?
Probably to a hotel.
Okay, but if you're not working and not, how are you gonna afford that?
I get SSI.
Okay. And how much is her monthly rent here is what, 1859? Okay. And yeah, that's what I had here. I think way back 1839 or 1837 something. And if you don't mind me, how much is your SSI?
13.
Pardon?
13 something.
13 something.
1350.
So your SSI doesn't even cover your rent.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so how much time do you need to move?
I'm asking for at least 30 days.
Okay, do you have anything that you can pay in the interim or?
All right now.
Well, when's your next check come in?
It comes in this coming week, but I gotta go towards me being able to move.
Have you?
Because I've explored all options for assistance and stuff and haven't been able to get it. No assistance.
Okay, when you say you can't get assistance, what do you mean?
To help to pay
this?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go on a payment plan or something.
Okay.
I just want to, if I can.
Yeah.
So I think that the update that we had from Caitlin Orda from SOS was that they were waiting for proof of income for you to approve the 3,000. And then the balance on this after payment of the 3,000 would be 1,810. And the forgiveness plan did require monthly payments going forward timely, but then they would waive the rest of the balance on this if the 3,000 was paid.
They have not told me that.
Okay, but
I
that,
was not told that at all.
huh?
I was not told that at all.
Okay, but
I still
hear that now.
wouldn't even be able to afford it.
Right, the problem's
I
gonna
still be behind.
Okay, hold on. The problem, that would be a good possible solution for you, but your SSI doesn't even cover your rent here.
Right.
So the one check that you get, you can't even make the timely payments. All right. So, ma'am, if I can, let me ask you this. At some point, you were paying your rent on time, right? Everything, or?
No, I was waiting on SOS was supposed to pay something. I was waiting on them to pay their portion to see what my portion was. So no, I haven't
Okay,
paid
so,
anything.
all right, so did you have a voucher?
No.
Were you in some other type of program with SOS?
A homeless program, yeah.
Okay. And was somebody supposed to be helping you with this rent now?
They don't pay the rent. They just pay
Like the moving in and
the
stuff?
move-in costs. Right.
Okay,
But I had got mentally sick and I wasn't able to work anymore.
Okay. Yeah, was the legal services gonna be here? Oh, three. Okay, so they won't be here, or the plaintiff, your landlord attorney won't be here. But let me ask you this, can you come back at 3 o'clock today? Here's why I'm asking, okay? I would prefer before we do anything have you talked to anybody from legal services?
Yeah.
When did you do that?
A few days ago.
Okay, so what did they tell you?
That's basically the same thing that, saying that I can't afford it and stuff.
Okay. I'm just worried about what you're gonna do. Okay. So let me ask you this, can you come back at 3? For me so that you can talk? I wanna talk to the folks at legal services to know that the circumstances that you're in, and whether or not there's anything out there that might help you.
Took the bus here.
Oh, you did? Okay. That's the earliest that they'll be here.
Yeah.
Who's on that? So you don't even have.
I don't even have them.
You don't have them.
Yeah.
Oh. I got a copy of what they said.
Okay.
Of what legal aid on my phone.
Okay, but hold on a moment. Let's do this. When do you think you're gonna be, if you move out, when do you think you're gonna be out? By the end of May? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah. Okay. No, not the end of May. This is April. I'm talking about 30 days from now.
And today's the
Today.
25th of April. So you'd be out, you think by the 25th of May?
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Rogers, who you with CMH at all, or
Yeah.
you are?
Yeah.
Okay, who's your worker? Do you know?
I don't have a specified one, but who I've been working with is Sharon Stetz.
Okay. Does she know the situation?
I just talked to her today. Yeah.
Okay, so you just talked to your CMH worker today.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what she kind of tell you to do?
Oh, she didn't say no. She just said sorry. You hear that?
Okay, did you ask her for any help at all or anything?
No.
All right. All right, Mr. Rogers, here's what I'm gonna do, and maybe and certainly over the objection of plaintiff, because they'd certainly be entitled to a judgment today, but I'm not comfortable doing that. I'm gonna adjourn your case out to May 16th, my next day at 1 p.m. I need you to come back at that point, and then we're gonna figure out sort of where this is gonna go. So if you're planning on moving out and you start moving yourself out, you still I want to see you before that finally happens, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right?
May 16th.
May 16th at 1 p.m. Okay, you need that written down for you?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll write that down for you and give you a piece of paper on that. Okay?
Okay.
All right, Ms. Rogers. You have a good weekend. New Park Ridge versus Treasurer Wallace Douglas.
Afternoon,
Good afternoon. Name?
Treasurer Wallace Douglas.
Yeah, I should get that. Where'd you get that name from, Treasurer?
I'm my mom's girl. She was trying for 13 years. I was born on Valentine's Day.
And she named you Treasurer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I asked. All right. What's her balance?
Your balance is $1,667.
$1,665?
67.
57.
67. You may, I don't, maybe I could try.
1,600.
67.
67. Okay. Thank you. All right. How are we gonna get this paid?
Where did this balance occur from? Because when I was here last week, it was 800 and something odd dollars.
No, on the 18th, the balance they gave me was $1,489. You had indicated you were going to pay $811 on the 21st.
Correct. I have
pay that.
They have a 1030. I gave them 1030 on Monday. $1,030.
Okay. So you gave him $1,030 this past Monday?
Correct.
You see that on your?
No, I do not.
Okay, that's probably why.
It looks like the difference from the amount that you had last time was that we didn't have the court costs added in.
Oh, okay. So this is inclusive of court costs. Gotcha. Okay. So if she paid, so she's at 1,667 and she paid 1030. And my math says I need 637. So when do you think you get that?
I need to try to work out a payment plan. I mean, I can pay probably a good 400. Well, I get paid next week.
So you can pay 400, do you think, when? So next
Doing your
week
math
is
is me
the
and my date.
second.
Okay.
You get paid on Friday?
I get paid on Wednesdays.
So the next Wednesday, this upcoming
Yep.
Wednesday, is the 30th.
Okay. Yeah.
You think you can pay 400 by then?
400. Let's say Friday, just to.
Okay, the second.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine, but except that, how much is your monthly rent?
$644. I was also,
Okay.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was also wondering, is there any way to like get the court costs and fees removed?
Well, not on this case, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out a way to do this so that you don't end up with another set of court costs coming out.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm viewing it.
Right.
These court costs will probably have to stay. But so if you get so you can do that by the second, then when's your next check after the second? Is it gonna be 2 weeks out?
It will be, but so right now my dad just had a horrible accident after I left here on Friday. And he really doesn't have anybody. He has Medicare insurance, so they're kicking him out the hospital. Basically, he needs somebody to take care of him, to help him. He has broken ribs, shattered pelvis, neither here nor there. But I will go back to work, but it's gonna be like my time is gonna be split between the two. So I won't be getting all the hours that I need to get. I will be also getting paid to take care of him, but that's not gonna kick in for like a month and a half, maybe. So,
okay,
yeah.
so you got a lot of stuff.
Lot, but I'm definitely.
Okay, hold on. Let's see what we can do.
I have one thing to say. So I think that this additional 176 is maybe an error.
So that the 1489 that I had before was the right amount, including court costs?
It would be 1491 now because of the $2.
Because of so 1491 now. Gotcha.
So if she paid the 400.
So if she paid, so then we're at 461 that she would. Okay, let me ask you this.
I can scrape up $61.
Okay, so you can do that, you think, by the second?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Just so that we can cut this off and let you focus on what you need to focus on with your dad. So I'm gonna find no tribal issue after a hearing. I'm gonna enter the judgment for that full amount of the 1491, but understanding you have 1,030 that they haven't credited yet to your account. And then you'll have to the 5th to get that balance paid. And you're done with this case. And then you can work toward trying to get your May and everything gone. Sound okay?
It does. I appreciate it.
You take care. All right. All right. And take care of your dad. All right. Evergreen Apartments versus Kendrick Haynes and Huron Vista versus Chanelli Brown. Those matters are dismissed on plaintiff's motion without.
Thank you, Your Honor. So this should be an amended judgment then.
On treasurer?
Yeah.
Hold on. Yes, that's an amended judgment. That's an amended judgment for her. So that way it clears her account up and she'll be good. You're good. I just didn't want to talk about your case without you here.
Thank you. And Your Honor, I do just want to state on the record though, if for some reason
it didn't go in, then yeah, no, I get it, but she'll get it paid.
Okay.
I think. All right. Okay, court is standing in recess. We'll come back with the next block that Roddy started to write.
All right. County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. Case Judge Simpson presides.
You may be seated. Court does call the case of Arbor Meadows versus Bradley McIntosh.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Brenting plaintiff.
Bradley McIntosh, not here. Oh. Wendy McIntosh, you're not here. Would you like to take your default?
Yeah, this is our motion to allow execution of order of eviction. So if they're not here, we would recreate that, Judge.
Oh, this is for a writ, for a hearing. Never mind.
Yeah. Here's the order.
All right. And then having failed to appear, writ may issue. Grant the motion for execution of the order of eviction.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. This is?
No.
Okay. Harbor Manor versus Maloney Franklin.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Paul Hughes, P 31986, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Hello.
Hello, what's your name?
Kalani Franklin.
All right.
I took some notes, if I may.
Pardon?
I just took some notes in my phone.
Took some notes?
Yes, sir.
Or?
Just to advise you of the things that I've been doing.
Okay, go ahead. What do you want to tell me?
Okay, sorry. So, last Friday we had an agreement that I was going to give my leasing office $500. I only have $300 due to my light bill, which is DTE, and my Wi-Fi bill, auto drafting $200 from my payment that I received on Wednesday. But I will be able to pay the $200 on Monday. And then I wanted to let you know that I did go ahead and apply for the cash assistance and the emergency stay relief through MDHHS. And I also contacted Hawk. They said that I do not qualify for assistance because I make too much a month for that. But they did provide me with other resources, which I have contacted and applied for. I'm just waiting on my application over the phone or my interview over the phone from them to see if I can get that assistance. I'm sorry.
I can confirm that the $500 as required was not paid. Nothing was paid. I think they were required to pay $200 the day that we were in court. That payment was made. No amount towards that 500 has been paid. This is defendant's motion to decide default judgment. There's no good cause.
I'm sorry.
There's no.
Mr. Hughes, I'm having some problems hearing you.
There's no
your microphone.
meritorious defense.
Go ahead.
There's no good cause or meritorious defense cited in her motion. It just says, I don't want to get evicted and I will catch up. My apologies. This is the second time we've appeared. At the motion be denied.
Your Honor, I do have the $300 money order on me. I have to take it to my leasing office once I leave here. I've been having trouble getting off from work because they don't provide me with time off. That is why I filed the motion to have this court today over Zoom, but it was denied. So I had to figure out a way to get off of work to come here today.
So, Mr. Hughes, how much is owing on her account at this point?
$1,790.
That can't be correct because I just paid when I came to court Friday. You released my $200 and then I went to go give them $200.
Right, they may not have your 200.
Don't have it yet.
They don't have your 200 yet. So
Oh, okay, but I did give them the $280 and they did give me a receipt for that the day I left court last Friday.
That's acknowledged.
280.
280. I gave them 280 in a money order and they gave me a receipt for it, my leasing office, once they got verification that they could still accept payments from me.
Okay, so you don't see the 280, right?
No, but I know that they received it. I confirmed that they received it. So the 1790 should be reduced by the 280 payment.
The 280 plus the 200 from escrow.
Yeah, when we get
So that's 1310.
correct.
But and you have 300.
Correct,
But then
today.
your monthly rent is how much?
$989.
So that's going to be our problem. So even if you paid the 300 over to them, you're going to be at 1,010. But then come Thursday, you're going to be back up in the $1,900 range.
Correct. That is why I applied for the emergency state relief emergency and the cash assistance through MDHHS.
Right, but Hawk can't assist you.
Correct.
How many people are in your household?
3. They provided me some other programs that I've reached out to see if they could assist
No,
me.
I hear you, but if the DHHS, that's gonna only, if I'm at a figure of like 1,900, that's only gonna provide 1,600, which is gonna bring you down to the 1,310, which is where we are today. It's did those other places that you applied, did they tell you anything?
No, I'm still waiting to hear back from them. I applied on Wednesday, sir. As well as MDHHS. I haven't heard back from them as either.
You haven't issued a writ as of yet, is that correct, Mr. Abuse?
I do not believe we have.
Okay. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. The motion, I'm gonna be forced to deny. So I'm gonna deny the motion to set aside. I will indicate that a writ may issue, but it's not to be executed prior to May 7th, 2025.
Could you advise me of what that means, sir?
Okay, what that means is you got to get all of this cleared up prior to May 7th,
Okay.
2025.
Okay.
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 So I'm giving you a little bit more of time to do that, but I'm denying your motion.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, are you going to make a notation on the court file, or do you want me to submit an order, or just send in a writ with your restrictions?
You can, I've written that in the court file.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Have a good
All
day.
right, thank
Have
you.
a good weekend.
You too. Bushwood Properties versus Craig Mattingly. And Stacy Stoba.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Fanter on behalf of the plaintiff.
Your name?
Stacy Stoba.
Craig Mattingly.
Your Honor,
I like the way Mr. Mattingly did that. Did you see that? When I asked for the names, he stood back and said, "You introduce yourself first." All right, go ahead. That's the way it's supposed to be done.
Your Honor, this is the case where they were here last week, but evidently they had trouble signing in. So the court set it aside.
Right.
And so we're entering a consent judgment. The amount of rent that's owed is $3,912.18. Court costs of $188 for a total of $4,100.38. I believe they're going to move, and I've given them till the 20th of May to either pay that amount or move. They signed, I signed, and I advised them of their rights under the courtroom.
Folks, is that all correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. You signed this judgment. Is there anything
I did have just a question before.
Yes, sir.
Before it's sealed. So realistically, we're just looking to get more time to figure, I mean, we were looking to get more time to figure out if we could pay it. And I feel like we were given information about a few resources, and that information was saying that they won't be available to help us. And I mean, that's just
What do you, hang on, I'm gonna stop you right there. Who has told you that?
Well, when me and this gentleman here spoke in the room there, we were talking about programs that we were possibly looking into to help us pay for this, to pay for the back rent. And we were told that they just simply were lacking funds and that really wouldn't make sense to be an option.
Sure.
And then these places, they told me to go to court and ask for more time so we can try to receive help from SOS, I know, as well as Hawk and HUD Housing. I mean, I spoke with quite a few people last week, and they told me that, I mean, they didn't say they were broke, but they also told me that a few places weren't an option. Places like the Delano Centers is not an option. Rapid rehousing is an option. My concern is because I just lost my job, and we're still planning on being roommates, but right now she's the only one employed. And every day I'm working on Indeed and looking at my Indeed account to see if I have a reach out back. So that's the problem I'm having, is that I don't have anywhere to go, anywhere to take my stuff. And so I just personally need more time and would like to come and see you again. But if that's not, I just wanted to ask, and if that's not an option, then yes, we would like to go forward and be out by next month on the 20th.
Your Honor, I contacted SOS on all my cases before I came back today. And I was told that Mr. Mattingly had talked to them earlier this month, but he said that he was looking for relocation money and security deposit money. And they have different pots, and that their rental assistance pot was not, they couldn't use a rental assistance pot to pay for relocation expenses. So I came into this believing that, in fact, that was their intention. I also know, having talked to SOS, that they're almost out of money. They've got $50,000 left and they don't have an appointment. And so I extended this, you see, from 10 days to 26 days. But I also know that you don't have a docket for the next 2 weeks. And I don't really want to adjourn this to the 16th of May.
Your Honor, if I may, they told me I can make an appointment. I have if it comes to paying the rent or relocations, they're willing to help on relocation.
Hold on a second.
Sorry about that.
You have an appointment with them?
No, they said that I can make one. You said you have one?
I have applied with the SIR program and talked to Hawk. They told me to come to court, do what the court tells you, contact them back to get help with security deposit and stuff, that they had help available. So
Okay, so we're really talking two different languages here. Okay, because, and part of that relates to you deciding what you want to do. And what I mean by that is, do you wish to stay in this premises or do you wish to move? Because those are going to be two different things in terms of what assistance is available to you and the like.
Right.
So which is it? Because, and I get sometimes it can be a bit confusing because you want to have a place to go, but you have to decide, am I looking to stay here or am I looking to leave?
Well, in my mind, I mean, personally, we would stay and leave on our own terms. I feel like we're not really leaving on our own terms here. It's got so far behind the rent. I would like to see if we could get help catching up with the rent or get the rent paid. And then if we want to leave, we can leave when the lease is up. But I would like to get it paid and just get more time to get it paid. But if that's not an option, then.
Well, no. When is your lease up?
October.
Okay, so I'll ask it more directly. Do you want to try to stay and be there through October?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, if it's possible.
Okay.
It's gotten so far behind because we haven't been able to reach.
That's what we like to try to do. It is possible.
I hear you. Okay. I understand. I don't know if you've been in here. I see people that are behind, and I get you fall behind for different reasons. But
Do you have an SCR application?
I do.
No?
It's, yes.
I'll make it, I guess, I don't think I have a choice. If they've got an SCR application, they're entitled to one more adjournment.
Yeah.
The only thing I need is, from his previous employer, yeah, I mean,
Okay, but you've got the application.
yes.
All right.
And I think that they get the 16th, is the 16th, Your Honor?
Yes.
And here's what I would do. I would call Hawk back and don't say you're looking for relocation money. Say you're looking for, I mean, we could go there later. Say you're looking for rental assistance money. And maybe they'll come up with some more money and we can deal with that when we come back on the 16th. But we're going to have to figure out a plan on the 16th. And you also mentioned
Yes.
that you could pay something this week.
Well, I get paid next Friday, Thursday night, about.
Can you pay?
Are you
your
talking about the first you get paid?
I get paid every 2 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you say you get paid next Thursday or next Friday,
Yeah.
that's this upcoming Friday.
Yes.
So that's what I was trying to figure out.
Late Thursday night.
No, I got you. So first thing, let me do this. I'm going to adjourn this to May 16, 2025. What time?
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Okay, that's the first thing. And you said that you can, how much is your monthly rent?
It went up. No, it went up with the next lease.
900.
930, I believe.
930, you said?
Well, it was 825 and then we signed a
Okay.
2-year lease. It went up the second year.
The rent is 908.
908. Okay. And so the reality is just rounding it off. The problem is that when May clicks in, you're going to be at about a $5,000 figure. Okay. And let's assume for the sake of argument that Hawk as you pay, you guys are going to have to find or can pay let's say their maximum, and assuming no other funds, you're going to have to find a way to come up with $2,000. So
That is doable, I believe, with my job.
okay, all right. So now on the 2nd, what can you pay to the landlord?
500.
Okay, so you get paid every 2 weeks.
I do, yes.
All right. So if you pay 500 on the 2nd, then on the 16th, what can you pay?
I mean, it depends on hours, but I mean, I can pay at least 500 every time I get paid.
Okay, so here's the problem we're gonna run into,
Okay.
okay? If that happens, and let's say, and I'm not including any late fees or anything in that, but you're gonna have 3 paychecks in May, right? And so if you do just 500, that at most gets me to 1,500 when we're looking at, you gotta get yourself around $2,000.
Okay, so I mean, 600 or 700, that.
I mean,
600.
that's getting close.
I mean, it is possible. It's gonna really, I mean, tighten everything up for bills and
Okay.
everything else, but.
He doesn't have to eat.
Not at all.
So.
No, you can tell I've been,
right.
I've been starving.
All right, so let's do this. What I want you to do is I want you to pay 600 by the 2nd.
Okay,
So out of this check, I want to see 600.
okay, sure.
Okay. So I'll adjourn it out to the 16th date. You pay 600. We know we're gonna be around that 5-something figure, but we're gonna have to try to figure out how we're gonna get that down.
Okay.
You gotta get yourself into Hawk so that that can happen. We'll see what they say on the state emergency relief and see if we can salvage it. Okay?
Do you
Fair.
have trouble paying on the portal right now?
Yes, that's been the issue the whole time.
All right,
is
do me a
the
favor,
portal.
call me the middle of next week.
Okay,
My number's on the court paperwork
okay,
and we'll figure that out.
all right, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
they won't let us make a partial payment. That's the real struggle.
This is how we got so far behind is they've not, we've emailed and texted and called and no one will respond.
They won't let you make a partial payment.
Our portal is not working, our tenant portal online. They switched management.
Your Honor, I'll
companies.
take care of that. I know.
Why
February
do they do this to people? If they have the money, let them pay.
We didn't know
Doesn't
anything.
jeopardize, hang on a second. I have to go on a rant,
Yeah.
okay? It doesn't jeopardize the case.
I know.
It's not a park forest issue. Just let the people pay. Everybody doesn't have a whole bunch of money at the first of the month. Just let them pay.
I agree.
So yeah, I know you do, and you'll take care of it.
Yes. Put it this way, worst comes to worst, if it's a technical issue, if it's that issue, they're gonna pay online. If it's a technical issue where there's something wrong with the portal, I'll drive to their house and they can hand me a money order.
That would be great.
That works for me. Yeah, you can have that judgment back. Okay? So, good. We got it figured out. You guys have made up your mind what you want to do. Let's see if we can work toward that goal. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
But only one of you should call in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably you, because you're the one with the job.
That was my question. On the second, when I pay the money, I'm calling you to pay it, or do I pay it?
You call me.
Okay.
I'm gonna figure out the portal before that, so when you call me, I'm either gonna say, go make the payment on the portal, or if there's a technical problem, I'm gonna arrange for you to meet up and you can hand me a money order.
Okay.
But we're gonna figure it out.
Thank you.
And then on the 16th, I have no problem if you just bring that second money order to court.
Right.
Just bring me a money order. We can put it on the record and we'll move forward and hopefully we'll have a better idea.
Will we have a paper with these instructions on?
Which instruction?
Just for the upcoming week or two.
All you're gonna get is a notice to appear.
Hold on. See. Did you hear the instructions?
Yes.
And so you know what has to happen, right?
Yes.
Do I really need to give him instructions? Because he's gonna mess it up, isn't he?
He just likes to see it.
He likes to see it. So let me ask you
He
this.
just wants to
So
be
when you
involved.
tell him, he doesn't listen, right? Go ahead, you can tell me. You can tell me. Don't worry about what he doesn't listen, does he?
If you have a question,
All right.
call me.
So
yeah.
she's got it. All right. So if you get confused, you ask her.
Okay.
All right. I have absolute confidence in her.
So do I.
And if you get confused, you've
I
got
don't
my
know.
number. You have my number.
I don't have your number.
You have the court papers.
I do not.
You got it, David. All right, we'll get it to him. All right. Let's just work it through piece by piece. You guys will be good. We'll figure it out. All right.
That sounds good.
All right. You guys have a great weekend and take care of each other.
Thank
please.
you.
And listen. You hear me? If nothing else you got out of this, listen to her. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Haberkamp LLC versus Alexander Day.
David Fancher on behalf of the plaintiff.
Hello.
Hello,
Your name?
Alexander Jackson.
All right. And where are we on this?
We have a conditional dismissal. I talked to SOS on this one. And as you know, they're down to a little bit of money. His appointment is on Tuesday. They believe that they will have enough money and they believe that he qualifies. So I didn't want to roll this into May because I didn't want it to be above 3 and I didn't want to include May's rent. So what I put under further orders is that Either they are gonna pay the 2160 or he'll have 30 days to pay the 2160. And I made this a 4A case so that he can, I don't want him finding out with the court officer at his door that they didn't pay.
Okay.
I told him, make sure that he gets them the documents they need, because it's basically first come, first serve at this point.
All right. You signed this, sir?
Sign that?
Pardon?
Yes.
All right. You have any questions?
I was wondering if I could get a PDF of the court documents emailed to me.
A what?
A PDF of the court document, because they're asking me to submit the court documents for SER online.
Which court documents?
The eviction notice and stuff. They're asking me to submit that for SER online.
This?
Yeah. No,
The conditional dismissal.
of the notice,
this
of the notice that they taped to my door. SER is asking for proof of verification of emergency need.
And you don't know how to upload?
I thought it would be a PDF. I mean, I can scan the document, but if you can email me in a PDF, that'd be easier.
I don't do that.
All right, I can
But,
scan.
I mean, Jesus.
I can scan it, sir.
And come here, because
Give me a minute. I'm just gonna give him my copy.
No, I can scan it. I have a copy at home. I can
Okay.
scan in, but I just if it was a P.
Oh, you have a copy?
Yeah, if in
Yeah,
PDF.
he just wants.
Yeah, I
he
just
wa-
want a PDF.
He's like really, really young. He
I'm a
wants
new
us to
generation.
give it
It's
to him
called
in a
technology.
PDF.
Technology forward.
And
I got short legs, sorry.
so, Mr. Jackson has made a request that I don't do. But he looks kind of nice.
Pretty nice.
I don't know. Will you do that for him? If he gives you an email, he needs his court document. He needs a PDF of his court document so he can upload them for his assistant.
Yeah.
My email address is my first and last name at Gmail.
Well, I don't want all that set. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sign off on this conditional order dismissal.
Okay.
You have 3 business days to think about this. If you believe that there's some legal reason, some justification, some confusion on your part as to this conditional order dismissal, or you believe that you made some error, you'd have to file a motion with the court within those 3 business days. That doesn't mean I'd set it aside, but you have that time.
Mhm.
Okay? So he can meet you over there, get to email. For you only, I'm doing this.
Thank you so much.
If anybody else comes up and asks for that, I'm not doing it. It's your fault. Mrs. Haverkamp versus DeAndre Cersei.
Good morning, Your Honor. David Fantair on behalf of the plaintiff.
And your name, sir?
DeAndre Cersei.
Cersei?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where are we with that?
We request this matter be adjourned to the 16th. His balance goes back quite a ways, and he needs to determine. He believes there may be payments that he made that are not on his ledger, so I'm going to hand him a copy of his ledger so that he can look at it
and try to work it.
Right. He's going to pay his portion of rent, meaning the non-Section 8 portion, by May 5th. So that when we come back on May 16th, he's essentially going to be in the same position we are now. And then I believe if we can come to an agreement on the amount, I'll give him a payment plan.
Got it.
I'm handing him his ledger.
Sound good, Mr. Cersei?
Okay, if I take it to trial, because I think it goes back. No, it's all right.
He thinks that this goes back to when the property was managed by Beal. We took the property back from Beal in November 2023.
Okay.
The balance at that time was $199, and that's what it says. The entire balance, other than that $199, is since then. And I've explained this to him several times, and he keeps saying it, but it's Beal, but it's Beal. It's not Beal.
Okay.
The only thing that's on here.
Let's do it this way. Well, you might have that issue that it doesn't sound to me like that's going to get you where you need to be.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So let's do it this way. You take the ledger, look through, see if there are payments that you made, see if we can come to a number on this. They're willing to work with you in terms of a payment plan. So let's give it that. Let's try that first.
Right.
Make sense?
All right.
All right. May 16th, 2025 at 2 p.m. Okay?
What's that?
May 16th?
Yes.
Yes.
2 p.m.?
Yes.
2 p.m.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
And I want to point out that today is Mr. Cersei's birthday.
Oh,
Yeah, I couldn't bring the cupcakes, man. I'm running
What?
late right now.
you could what?
I couldn't bring the cupcakes for.
Why? Why? So you had a birthday, came in here celebrating and didn't bring us anything?
I barely got a happy birthday today.
What? That's not good. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Get younger.
All right, fella.
All right.
Happy birthday to you. 103 South Huron versus Mario Man.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Fantam, we have the plaintiff.
Your name?
Marco, man.
All right.
Your Honor, we have a conditional dismissal. He has been approved by SOS.
Okay.
They're going to be paying $22.39 and change. SER is going to pay the remaining $410, and I gave him 30 days to pay it. And
That will take care of the whole.
they'll take care of the whole balance.
You have any? You see that big old smile here?
God is good.
You have any questions about this COD?
No, sir, I do not.
All right. I will sign off on this, and I would indicate that you have those 3 business days to think about it. If you believe that there's some legal reason, some confusion on your part, or some right you didn't assert, you have to file a motion within those 3 business days. Doesn't mean I'd set it aside, but you have those 3 business days to do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Very good. It's not your birthday, is it?
No, sir.
Okay, well, all right. You just have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
All right, take care. That's it for that block? All right.
I've got one more. 1285.
Whoa. What you blaming me?
I think I heard that.
What happened? You took it. You took the file. Why you take the file, man? Don't do anything. See? No, I didn't just give it. See? Everybody's trying to blame me. Court calls the case of Danny Noonan LLC versus Sean Cummings. See, they tried to leave you out.
I know.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Your name?
Sean Cummings.
All right.
David Fanter on behalf of the plaintiff. Your Honor, this is, Mr. Cummings has an appointment on Tuesday. And
Okay.
again, they believe that they'll have money. They believe that he'll qualify. So I put again that either they're going to pay the whole thing, which is $29.08, or he'll have to pay it. And so I told Mr. Cummings, make sure you're prepared to give them on Tuesday any documents that they need so that they can move pretty quickly. But if for some reason they come back and tell you that there's no money and you're denied, then you'll have 30 days to come up with the money yourself.
Right.
All right. And this is a 4A case.
Yep, I did it as a 4A.
You have any questions regarding this, sir?
Sure.
All right. I'll sign off on this, mark this conditionally dismissed, and would indicate to you that you have those 3 business days to think about this. If you believe that there's some legal reason, some confusion on your part, some right you didn't assert, you'd have to file a motion with the court within that time frame.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir. You have a great weekend.
You too.
And I didn't mean to leave you out, but I'll discipline them about trying to leave you out. All right. Okay.
But it was worth it hearing Emily.
Yeah, exactly. I gave you the file. I know. Loud.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome, sir. Have a good weekend. All right. Court's going to stand in brief recess. We're going to get set up for the next block, and then I'll come back out and get going on that.
All rise.
You're so.
Excuse. Now back in session, the
You may be seated. AT Lakeside versus Lorianne Pedersen.
Pearson, sir.
Pearson?
Yes, sir.
Joe Lloyd, Your Honor, appearing on behalf of the landlord.
How do I spell your name then, ma'am?
PEARSON.
I think we misspelled it on one of the pleadings, but not on the other.
Got it. Okay. All right. I got it.
We've talked about that in the office, but I didn't.
Did you? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Where are we?
So there was a proposal that was just made to me that I haven't had a chance to vet with my client. I had been, it would lead to getting paid off, and I'd willing to make some personal promises, but I can't sign a document that they haven't let me sign. So, if you were to adjourn this for 2 weeks, out to, what one is the 15th? What's the story on that?
It's the 16th. Have judicial meetings and conferences the next 2 Fridays. So it will be the 16th.
The promise has been made that we will be paid in full by the 16th. And if for some reason we were adjourned to that date, then I'll never not have to show up again and charge the client for it.
Got it.
So that's the promise I will make. If it's not paid, then I'm going to show up in a different world. So
I do have an application in with Sear just as a backup, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to have everything paid off by the 16th.
You said with
Sear. Yeah.
State emergency.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I really believe that I'll be able to take care of it myself.
Okay. So so that the state emergency relief may be a bit of a misnomer. How many people are in your house?
2.
2?
Yeah.
So the maximum award through DHHS is only $520.
Okay. But you have to go through Sear before you go through Hawk.
No.
I was.
I know. That the last meeting I was at, they said, that was my understanding.
Okay.
They said you do not.
Okay, well, I will call Hawk today then.
They encourage you to do that.
Okay.
But you don't have to have either a denial or anything from them.
Okay.
You need to go there.
Well, I will call Hawk today.
All right.
But I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping that I can do this without assistance.
Okay.
Good.
May 16th, then 2025 at 3 p.m.
At 3 p.m. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Always a pleasure seeing you, Mr.
Yes.
Take care. Court calls the case Northwood Properties versus Robert Gould.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Edward Drucas on behalf of Northwood Properties LLC.
Robert Gould. Not here. Would you like to take a default?
I would, Your Honor.
Put your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, the rent to retain would be $4,800, cost at $239.40, a total redemption fee of $5,038.40. And there was a posting in this matter. Mr. Gould did avail himself to the court last week at the first hearing. I'd like to that he was here last week.
Yes.
Therefore, I'd like to obtain a money judgment as well for the full amount, a writ not to issue on or before May 5th.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession and money. Redemption amount is in the amount requested, as well as money judgment with the writ to issue in 10 days. And I've signed your judgment, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Mylan Village versus Renee Bell.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Max Mood on behalf of plaintiff.
Hello, your name?
Renee Bell.
Okay. And where are we on this case?
Your Honor, at this time, my client indicates that there's a balance owing with court costs included in the amount of $1,201. I believe that we had adjourned this matter to give Ms. Bell a bit of time to look into funding assistance. And I believe Ms. Bell was also instructed to make a $500 payment to management. As of right now, I do not have an indication that she has done so. And I'd be interested to know if she has, and I don't have that update on the ledger or where we stand on that.
Did you pay the 500?
I was not able to. I have 250. The reason I couldn't pay 500, someone stole money from my purse, and I didn't realize it.
The total amount is 1201, including cost, counsel?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Well, I'm gonna find that there's no tribal issue after hearing in this matter. I'm gonna issue a judgment for possession in the total amount of the $1,201 with a writ to issue on or after May 5th. So you're gonna have to get this paid now.
Okay,
All right?
all right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Six Trails versus Jillian Fox.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, City Katz on behalf of the
Uh-oh. What did Jukas do?
Going in.
Yeah. Your name?
Jillian Fox.
All right. And where are we on this case?
Your Honor, this is a non-payment rent possession case. There's currently a balance due with including court costs totaling $2,752, 2752.
Ma'am?
I was told by SOS that they would be able to help with this funding. I did submit all of the required papers for her. I have also contacted her 3 times this week. I have not heard back.
So you had an appointment with Hawk?
Yes, I had an appointment before the last hearing that we had. I submitted everything that she requested and I have not heard back from her. So I am still under the assumption that they are able to help. That's what she did say once those.
Did she say they were gonna pay that full amount then?
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do, and you can put this in any writing. I'm gonna find that there's no tribal issue after hearing. I'm gonna issue the judgment in that amount of 2752. However, rather than have the writ issue on the 5th, I will have the writ issue on the 12th.
Okay. And Your Honor, Amy's here. Is she able to just look at that information so we have some kind of idea?
Oh, she's on the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen her all day. She's been so quiet. Hello, Amy.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I just wanted to offer that the caseworker is actually waiting on landlord documents. So if Mr. Katz can encourage his client, I've also let the caseworker know to reach out to you directly, attorney, if that's okay, to seek those documents as well.
Well, I'll let my client know to respond to them.
Thank you. Because that seems to be the only holdup here.
Okay, perfect. Your Honor, I'll put down the 12th on that. And
Very good. All right.
Thank you. Have a good
The
weekend.
time on the 12th.
You don't come back on the 12th.
Oh, I don't? Okay.
So what I gave is additional time so that they can get everything together.
Okay.
And then hopefully get it paid by that day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You have a great weekend.
You as well.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Willow Ridge Apartments versus Abdella. Yes, Mr. Katz?
Yeah, I forgot. That one's mine too. I sent in a dismissal.
Yes, you did.
Good thing I was
And
late
your
in
name, sir?
responding.
My name is Berhanu Abdallah.
Abdella?
Yes.
They're dismissing this case. You okay with that?
Absolutely.
All right, case is dismissed.
Thank you,
Have a
Judge.
great one.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, you folks must be waiting for the 3 o'clock. All right, well, I'm gonna have to step off, wait for everybody to get here, and then I'll come back out. We'll get that done. Court stands in recess.
Thanks. District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session.
You may be seated. Does call the case of Spice Tree Apartments versus Cameron Hall.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Brianna Kingsley appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
And Latwana Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Gail Rosen on behalf of Cameron Hall.
All right. And where are we on this case?
I just became involved in this case, Your Honor, and I have referred Ms. Hall, and she has several appointments with some services at University of Michigan, which might be able to help her with some of the back rent that's due. And so I'd ask for some more time to allow her to do that. She also was just hired for a full-time position, so hoping that that will start soon and will help with the rent as well.
So you took the advice and went and talked to him, huh?
Yeah,
You feel better?
yeah, I do.
You know why I'm asking that?
No,
Because when you were up here the first time, you were lost.
yeah, I was.
Yeah, you weren't even sure what you were going to do nor how to go about doing it, right?
Yeah.
Remind me again what your major was?
Sport management.
What?
Sport management.
Yeah. Still trying to figure that one out. But okay. So how much does she owe at this point?
The balance with costs as of today's date is $3,280.50. It looks like some payments were made on 4/18, so that brought the balance down to $32.80.40.
On 4/18, they made payments?
Mhm.
And how much is her monthly rent?
Rental rate is $13.80 per month.
So we're going to be back on the 1st. We're going to be back up on around the $4,500 mark. Okay. Kingsley, I know you can't agree if I agree to give her more time, right?
Your Honor, actually, I just received Ms. Rosen's answer and affirmative defenses today, so I would like an opportunity to respond to the affirmative defenses. So I have no objection if you want to set this one out. I have Ms. Rosen's email. I'm happy to discuss a resolution with her.
I will then, I do not have the next 2 Fridays because of judicial matters that I've got to deal with, so I will adjourn this. I'm sorry?
I will actually be gone the first week of May anyway, so if we could put this.
Okay, so my next available date is May 16th, if that works for everybody.
It does.
Fortunately, I will be out of town on the 16th for my niece's graduation.
Got it. The 23rd?
23rd?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
May
At what time?
23rd,
At what?
2025 at 1 p.m.
Okay, and I'm sorry, my eyesight's so bad. Miss Kingsley, what's your first name?
Brianna.
Brianna,
okay. Thank you.
So young lady, one of the things you learn is sometimes you got to reach out for help, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Where are you from originally?
Southfield, Michigan.
You're from Southfield, so you're a Michiganian,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. You worked too hard to get to where you are. Let this put you down, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank
You'll
you,
work
Your Honor.
out somehow.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rose. And young lady, you got a darn good attorney next to you. So. Calls the case of Arbor Woods versus Kyle Casey.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Here.
Right. And what's the current, how much does this currently owe?
So, Judge, I actually had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Casey earlier. I spoke with my client, and I believe we have an agreement.
Okay.
So, my client has agreed to waive some of the month-to-month fees that we talked about last week when we were in court. So, they're going to waive $222 for the month-to-month fees. That would leave him with rent to retain of $349.79, court costs of $186, for a total of $535.75. My client has agreed to allow him until May 9th to have that paid, and then May rental charges will be due May 23rd, 2025. And they've authorized me to do this agreement as a conditional dismissal.
Sir?
What does that mean, Ms. Conditional? Mean? I'm sorry, I don't know the lawyer talk.
No, it's okay. It's okay. They
If I
would have
follow
the
through, we're
option,
good.
they would have the option of entering a judgment right now against you. It could even have those same terms. What they're agreeing to do is the case would be conditionally dismissed as long as you comply with those terms, meaning the payment of the back due balance. You said by the 9th?
Yeah, I believe we spoke. It was May 9th for what was it, like 525 or something?
535.75. Yep.
535. Okay. And then
And then you would pay your May charges by
the
May 23rd.
Yeah, which is
right?
720.
It's gonna end up being like 780 when I calculated it.
So they're gonna give me the late fee. They're not gonna.
Because they're giving you additional time, yeah. You'll have to pay the late fee for May.
Okay.
Okay. So, and the benefit for you is that there won't be a judgment as long as you comply with that. And once you comply with those two terms, then the case remains dismissed. Okay. If you fail to, and you're going to do this as a 4B case, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So if you fail to comply with those terms, the plaintiff, by submitting an affidavit, could have the case reopened, ask the court to enter a judgment, as well as an order of eviction all at the same time, which the court would sign off on, right?
Okay.
And then there would be a judgment against you, as well as an order of eviction would be signed at that time. But as long as you comply with everything, then the case remains dismissed. You follow
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I got you. Yes, sir.
All right. You have any other questions regarding it? And so that you know, they could ask to reopen the judgment and the order of eviction. That would be done without a hearing before this court. They could just do that on paper to the court.
Okay. Yeah, that's no problem. I shouldn't have an issue paying that.
Okay. All right. You have any other questions about that?
I just want to ask Ms. Kingsley if because we spoke earlier about my more personal matters. If those things proceed, can I give you a call about something and maybe
Just call
work
my
something out?
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. I'm good then.
All right.
So I've already drafted the conditional dismissal. Mr. Casey, do I have permission to sign your name to it and file it?
Oh yeah. If you want, can you email me a copy?
Yep, I was going to ask you if you want a copy. Do you want to put your email address in the chat so that it's not over live stream?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
I will right now.
We'll get that. We'll probably have to forward it, but if you put your email in there. And sir, I do have to advise you that you have 3 business days from the date of my signing of that conditional order dismissal. If you believe that there's some mistake, some confusion on your part, some right you didn't assert, or something along those lines, you'd have to file a motion with the court within 3 days of my signing of that conditional order of dismissal. That doesn't mean that I would grant your motion to set it aside, but you have those 3 business days to file that. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Fantastic. I'm glad it all worked out. So I'll mark this file conditionally dismissed, and I'll wait for the order.
Okay, and I put my email in that chat. If you want to confirm, you can see it at least.
I can see it, and probably Ms. Kingsley, I don't know if you can see it or not. If you can't, you can.
But at least somebody can.
All right, I'm writing it down right now.
Okay. And yeah, I'm good then. Thank you guys, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Arbor Woods versus Tamika Mason and Jimmy Mason.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Hello, Tamika Mason.
And Jimmy Mason.
All right, very good. Okay, they are here. What is plaintiff's claim now in this case?
So, Your Honor, I actually also had an opportunity to speak with Mrs. Mason today, and my client has accepted her proposed offer, if I may place those terms on the record.
Absolutely.
So, rent to retain is $1,497.25. There's $242 in court costs for a total of $1,739.25. That amount plus the May 2025 rental charges are to be paid as follows: $500 today, $600 May 2nd, $600 May 9th, $600 May 16th, $600 May 23rd, and any remaining balance, which I calculated out to be about $575, would be due by May 30th. And it's my understanding the defendant's lease agreement also expires at the end of May, and they're agreeing to vacate the property.
Is all of that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you heard my explanation of a conditional order dismissal to the other party?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that if you fail to make one of these payments, the plaintiff can reopen the case, file a judgment, as well as an order of eviction be signed, and that would be done without a hearing.
Right.
All right. Do you have any other questions regarding that?
No, sir.
All right. And would Ms. Kingsley have permission to sign your name to that conditional order dismissal and submit it to the court?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Fantastic. Then I'll mark this file conditionally dismissed.
All right.
Wonderful. It
Thank you.
worked out. Good luck.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Arbor Woods versus Lisa Thompson.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Lisa Thompson.
Got her. All right. Okay, and where are we on this case?
So, Judge, we were here last week. Ms. Thompson was to make a $1,000 payment. My client confirmed that she did drop off the $1,000 payment. So, her balance with costs is $2,057.47. She dropped off $1,000 payment. That would bring her down to $1,057.47.
All right, Ms. Thompson, how are you going to get that paid?
Sir, I don't get paid again to the 2nd, and then the 16th. So what my plans is to make another payment that following Monday after that Friday, and then have everything caught up by the 19th of May. And that's my maid's rent, lot rent as well.
Okay, so you're going to pay everything by the 19th, but on the 2nd, how much are you going to pay?
Sir, I'm hoping I can pay $1,000 by then.
Okay, so you're going to pay another $1,000 by May 2nd.
That's my plan. Well, the
Okay,
Monday.
The 5th.
Yes, because I don't get off work till after the office closes.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'll tell you what we can do in this case and what I probably prefer to do. Do you think if you could pay the $1,000, do you think you can pay the $57.47 also?
Well, yes, yes, I do. I think I can pay the 1,100 actually.
On that date of the 5th?
Yes, I'll get another check, cashier's check.
All right. So here's what I'll do, ma'am. I'm going to issue a judgment finding no tribal issue after hearing. And the reason I'm doing that is that way we're not dealing with May charges. We're just going to get you caught up, okay?
Yes, sir.
And then what I will do is I'll give you to the 9th to get that paid. That's over the objection of plaintiff, but I'll extend your writ date out a couple of days, and that way you can get that all paid, and then you'll be all set, and you can then work on May.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So I'll
yes,
grant
sir.
that judgment to the plaintiff. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Arbor Woods versus April Tubbs Streeter
Brianna Kingsley.
and Elise Streeter.
Hi.
Hello. What's your name?
April Tubbs Streeter.
All right. And where are we on this case?
So, Judge, we were here last week. Ms. Tubbs Streeter had appeared. She had raised a couple of issues, one with the lease agreement, the other one with the water sewer charges. So I have updates on both. A few things. She dropped off a $677 payment. The the second thing is I confirmed with my client that they already adjusted the water sewer that was posted on April 1st. So those credits have already been performed on her account. And then the third thing is the way that DocuSign works, they can't reroute the lease agreement to go to Miss Tubstreeter's email again. However, the lease agreement has been printed and it's ready for her to be picked up from the office.
And she's showing it. I think she picked it up, right?
Yeah, we did it this morning. She had just talked to you. We did it this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, she told me this morning. So perfect. Okay, awesome. So the remaining balance due with costs is $538.25.
$538 and I'm sorry, how many?
25 cents.
25 cents.
So they didn't make any adjustments?
No, they made the adjustment.
So that's with the adjustments?
Yes.
Correct. So is that including that water bill?
They adjusted your water bill. That's what she said.
No, it's so the amount of the water bill that was adjusted for us to pay, is that included in that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, can you break that payment down for me, please? Because I got rent coming up and mortgage.
I am showing that the water was adjusted to $34.17 and the sewer was adjusted to $17.58 for the month of April. So those credits were already done. So it would be the remaining balance due from the water sewer, late fees, court costs. We get to $538.25.
Because I have both of those coming up, can we break those payments down and
Okay,
the 15th
just
and the
hold on.
30th?
What are you trying to do?
The remaining balance that she said that I have.
You what?
The remaining balance that she said that I have,
Yes.
because I have rent, lot rent coming up and I have mortgage coming up. Can they break those two payments down for me?
What do you mean?
Break the
Payment?
500 down, yeah.
Okay,
Give me a
let me
payment
ask you
plan for
this.
that. Yeah.
The $538.25, when can you get that paid? If you had to get that paid, when can you get that paid?
I'll have it all paid.
Pardon?
I can have it all paid by the 29th. Well, actually, you know what?
29th of this month?
No, I was saying by the 29th of next month of May, but I can have it paid by the 15th of May.
As well as,
My regular month.
so you.
I'm gonna pay May.
You can pay May.
And then by the 15th, I'll have the remaining balance of the 5 something she said it was.
Okay, so
Does that
hold
make
on,
sense?
hold on. No, I think I'm hearing you, but I just want to make sure. Your May rent is how much?
It'll be $677, correct? Because it doesn't.
Okay, because that's what you paid
Mhm.
the other time.
Well,
Okay.
it'll be, just to clarify, Judge, it'll be $677 plus the water, sewer, and charges.
Got it. Okay, so I guess what I'm getting at is you can have everything paid by you said 16th?
Yeah, and then I guess I would have to hold on to that because they have it now where you can't do a partial payment. So that would be considered
We'll
a partial
take care of
payment,
that.
right?
Just
Okay.
You're trying to make my life complicated.
I'm not trying to make it any complicated. No, I'm not. No. But yes, I can
Okay,
have
so
my regular
hold on.
payment.
Hey, hold on. And I know you're dealing with it where you're looking at each month that you're paying. I get that. So what I'm asking you, just put May aside for a moment because it's not due. When can you have this 538.25?
By the 15th. Well, you know what? Okay, you said we're gonna put that aside. So I can have
May
that. I can
aside
have
for-
that by the 30th
You'll have that by the
Yeah.
30th of
of April.
April.
Yeah.
So you can get that paid by April 30th?
Yes.
Okay. And get it into them by that date?
Yes.
Okay, then here's what I'm gonna do. And this will probably be your plaintiff's objection, but I'm gonna do it this way for you, because I know you're trying to work, you're trying to get everything paid. My next date is May 16th. I'm going to adjourn the matter out to my next date.
Okay.
At 12 p.m. Reason I'm doing that is if you get that payment in before this month ends, they're gonna dismiss the case.
Okay, so
If I get the 5 something in.
the 538.25.
Okay.
You got to get that into them. I'm going to order plaintiff to accept her payment. However they're doing that, I don't know if they closed the portal or whatever, but to accept her payment, you will have paid through the end of April, then you're good. It'll be done.
Okay, let's get this straight right here, Judge. So then by the 15th, I pay that 7 something, right?
By your May, I'm not trying to deal with your May rent.
Okay, so, okay.
I'm just what I'm trying to do is get this paid,
Okay,
get this case dismissed, and then you get your May payment in. You may have late charges, you may have those other things, but you're not with a court case head right.
okay, I hear you.
You got it?
Yes, I do.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. I appreciate it.
Okay, good, because a lot of people think what I say doesn't make sense. But Miss Kingsley's gonna yell at me about something right now, aren't you?
I just want a point of clarification. Is she intending to pay online or in person? Because the online system cannot accept partial payments, and that's not something that my client has control over. It's just the way the software.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll bring it in.
Okay.
Bring it in.
Okay, perfect.
And I'll add the $10 because I seen it on the thing today and it is in the lease.
Okay, so you'll add that to
Yes, I
it.
will.
You'll get everything paid. And so when that clicks over effective that next Thursday, May 1st, you're gonna be clear.
It'll be there.
That work?
Yes.
Okay, and then that way, if everything's paid, you don't have to check.
Awesome. Okay, good.
Well, don't say it like that, like you wanna see.
I only have Fridays off.
Okay, all right. That's the reason. I think you were hurting my feelings. Okay.
No, but it's good to see you.
All
Am I
right.
done?
You're all done.
All right. You all
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Donald Hammond versus Angela Hammond. Is it Chenard? Hammond? Well, hold on. Why do I have this case? Because this is not theirs. I don't.
That's weird.
That is weird. Is that on today? That looked like it got stuck in there someplace. Northfield Estates versus Tracy Schoonfield. Oh.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Schoonfeld? No response. If you raise your right hand to be sworn, I'll let you proceed. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, in light of the defendant's failure to appear, I would request entry of a default possession only judgment. I am showing rent to retain in the amount of $729.49, $213 in costs, totaled $942.49 for that amount to be paid on or before May 5th.
If that's by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested, writ to issue 10 days. Northfield Crossing versus Eugene Renke.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Eugene Renke? Yes, I'm not picking him up or whatever. Oh, there he is. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we can hear you. All right, how much is owing on this case?
So, Judge, this is the defendant's motion, is continued motion, instead of the default judgment. So the default judgment was originally entered on February 14th. My client had requested the order of eviction. The order of eviction has been signed, and then the defendant filed this instant motion on March 25th, 2025. So we were here last week. He had posted $800 into escrow. He gave my client $800, and then another payment of $840 has been made. Now, as far as the judgment, that still doesn't cure the judgment balance, and we're left with a remaining balance of $1651.36.
$1651.36.
Correct. That's if you apply the $800 from the escrow.
Okay, gotcha. And all right. So, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. How are you going to get the remaining balance paid? The $1651.
Right now, I'm working with Salvation Army to see if I can be able to offset the balance. really want a little time to be able to get that result. And
Have you had your meeting with them yet?
Yes, I went to the office severally. I didn't see the management to talk to, and I spoke to her this afternoon. She told me that most of the decision is not with her right now. It's with the court. Whatever the court decides, that's what she's going to follow.
Okay. He's made some significant payment. How much was left on the judgment amount, counsel, was it?
That's what I'm reviewing right now. It looks like the judgment was entered back in February 14th.
Yes.
For 27
271086.
Yeah, that's what I have. 271086. So he made one $800 payment, and then he made an $840 payment. And then that leaves us with $1,070.86. And then the 800 in escrow, that leaves $270.86.
2786 is what he paid. Okay.
That would be what's left on the judgment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
$270
yeah, that would
and
be
86.
left on the
Okay.
judgment.
Okay, if that was balanced, I can have that paid next week, Monday then.
Okay, but that only clears you through February. Then you had your March and April rent click in. And so after everything's applied, that's where the 1651
Correct.
36 comes in. So, sir, when can you get that paid?
As I said, Your Honor, I'm working with Salvation Army. I just need some little time to take care of that, but I think I can come up with $600 next week and, pay $800 on it. And I'm working with Salvation Army. I just want a little time to see that work out, Your Honor.
All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do, sir. I'm going to, you paid quite a bit, but you're going to have to let the Salvation Army know that they need to get a decision to you, because what I'm going to do at this juncture, because we're going to click into May, and don't want to do that on this case. I'm going to deny your motion on this case. I will sign the writ in this matter that has been filed with. I'm sorry.
We already have a sign. It's already been signed.
I don't know that it's been signed because I've got the order of eviction here.
Oh, we had submitted an amended writ identifying that he had made a payment. So that second writ, I don't think has been signed. The first writ was signed.
The first writ was signed, and then I have a writ from March 3rd.
Oh, okay.
That's your date that was signed.
Yeah, that's the first one. And then a second writ was processed.
Was it?
It was processed by my office. I'm not sure. Maybe the second writ hasn't been signed by the court yet.
I don't see a second writ.
Okay.
I see the first one.
I can submit another one.
All right. So why don't we do this? Submit a new writ with those payments in. I'm going to deny your motion on this, sir. I will just indicate that the writ will not be executed prior to, well, when did you meet with SOS or Hawk, sir?
Last week, Friday, when I left the office, I left the court. I went to the office. It was locked. On Monday, I was there. On Tuesday, I was there. The manager was not available because he said he had emergencies. But I called her this morning and spoke with her. She told me that the court had a decision that the matter is not in your hand at this time.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. You're going to have to let them know this. I'm going to deny your motion. I'll sign the new writ. It's not to be executed prior to the 9th of May. Okay.
Okay, Your Honor.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Northville Crossing versus Barbara Vargo.
Brianna Kingsley for the
And,
plaintiff.
well, it's only in Barbara's name, but he's here. Hello.
Hey,
Hello, sir.
State your names.
Barbara Vargo?
Michael Vargo.
All right. And where are we on this case with them?
So we were here last week. Both of them had appeared. Mrs. Vargo had an appointment with the VA this past Monday. I believe she was trying to get assistance through them, so I'm not sure how their appointment went.
You're right.
We've submitted all the documents and we've scheduled another appointment for Tuesday of next week at 2 p.m. to review we got the document filled out this week for the landlord to complete. They completed it.
The landlord did?
Yes.
Okay.
So the property manager, rather.
Okay.
And then submitted everything to her. So we have an appointment at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, April 29th to review the request. To go over our bank statements, everything, and then she'll give us an answer then what she can do for us
Okay.
on the 29th.
All right. I'm gonna go out on a little limb here and I'm gonna adjourn this to my next date of the 15th or the 16th. I've not heard of the VA turning it down.
Okay.
And so unless something strange happens. So I'm confident that they're gonna come through and do something. And quite frankly, usually with their cases, they not only pay the back rent, but they make sure to pay what month you're in, so you're not right back.
If not, we're also working with a social worker through the Housing Bureau for seniors. Actually,
Okay.
Michael is. They're waiting to see what the VA comes back and if there's anything they can do, even if it's just our utilities or whatever.
Okay, so
they're
you're
going to
working
help.
with Housing Bureau for Seniors. They're waiting on the VA's determination. And then, okay, that all actually makes sense. So over the objection plan, if I'm going to adjourn this to May 16th, 2025 at 12 p.m. And by that time, you'll at least have an answer from the VA. You'll have that.
Yes, we will.
All right. How you guys doing?
Good. Working hard. My body's getting used to working.
Okay. All right. And how are you doing, fella?
It's sort of the same thing. I'm getting back up on my feet, doing stuff around the house and that.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Like I said, the last time I saw you, you're looking real good. So, all right. You guys take care. Take care of each other, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Silo Farms versus Tiffany Copeland.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Tiffany Copeland, not here. You've been sworn. If you'd like to proceed, you may.
So, Judge, this is actually defendant's continued motion to set aside the default judgment that was entered on
it
April
is.
3rd. So we were here last week. The defendant had indicated that she had claimed that there were still some issues with the water meter to the home. I confirmed with my client, as I stated last week, the freeze plate was the issue. The freeze plate has been placed back on the water meter. It's functioning properly. That's been addressed. I sent a couple photos to Ann so you could look at it. I'm not sure.
Yes, I did
Okay.
see it.
Okay, good. So Ms. Copeland has not paid the remaining balance. So at this point, I would request that her motion be denied and that my office be permitted to submit an order of eviction.
What's her balance?
So we have a default judgment for $8,411.95. With the prior motion she had filed, $5,915 were posted into escrow that's been applied to her balance. She then posted $1,000 into escrow for this account, for this motion. That would bring her balance down to $1,561.95. That's remaining.
$1,561.95. Okay, and I have on April 21st, she posted an additional $1,590.
Oh, she paid it to the court?
I think she did, because I have a total in trust right now of $2,590.
Oh, okay. I was under the impression that she was supposed to pay it to my client, so my client.
I think that's what I said, but I think because she had been making all of the payments here, she must have just did it that way.
So
That's
then,
probably why she's not here, because she's paid everything.
because she paid it into escrow. Okay, so then could we enter an order denying her motion as moot and releasing the escrow funds to my client?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you very much, Judge. Do you want me to prepare an order?
Yes, if you could
Okay.
send over that way, I will write it in the file, so it might be on this way by the signature, but
Okay.
To plaintiff. Silo Farms versus Joanna Hollis. Agbadu.
Brianna Kingsley.
Yeah.
Excuse me, for the plaintiff.
Your Honor, this is Victoria.
Oh, Victor,
Yes, Your Honor.
is that you?
I'm here. Yes, sir.
Okay, she's here. All right. So he was supposed to pay $2,000 by today.
I don't believe that
Yeah.
he done that, Your Honor. I received an email from my client this morning. So unless he's dropped it off in the last like 4 hours.
Sir, did
know,
you pay?
No, sir. I talked with the manager of the Silo Farms that I'm ready to vacate the place and sell the mobile home. I was unable to get the money, so I'm ready to vacate the property and sell the home.
What was the last part of what you said?
Yeah, the last time I promised to pay some money, but I was not able to get the money at this time.
You're
So I'm
unable
ready
to get the money.
Yes, sir. So I decided to vacate the property and sell the mobile home.
All right, counsel, how much do you have, Owen?
Balance is $3,417.33.
Give that to me. I'm sorry. My brain froze.
$3,417.33.
I'm going to find that after hearing no tribal issue a judgment for possession with that redemption amount, and that needs to be paid within 10 days.
Thank you, Judge. I will prepare an order.
Thank you. Silo Farms versus Teresa Tomasi.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
She is here. Ms. Tomasi?
Coming, I'm coming.
All right, you're right there.
Okay.
Okay. We got you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. How much is owing on this account?
So the balance due is $3,041. We were here last week. Ms. Tomasi had applied and been approved for assistance through Hawk. She had a copay to make. There was a payment received for $442.28. I'm going to presume that was her copay that she had to make before Hawk will release the funds.
Yeah, the check came to the office from Hawk yesterday. Jeanette called me yesterday. They got the 3,000 at the office yesterday. So that's the last I've heard. So if that's
okay.
So Judge, my
is that correct, Eddie, that you have I see Silo Farms on.
Yeah.
To our main office, Judge, and they had to send it back to us, but we have it. It's out. They already approved for us to put it on her ledger, so she is good with us.
Oh, great. So this can be dismissed?
Patty, would you like to dismiss?
Yes.
Okay. I was waiting for somebody to tell me. Ms. Tomasi, congratulations. Fantastic. This case is dismissed. You have a great weekend.
You too, guys. Stay healthy.
All right, you too.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Valley Ranch versus Brandon Kuchar.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Brandon Kuchar.
And how much is owing on this?
So balance due is $4,645.49. We were here last. Mr. Kutcher had submitted a payment through MoneyGram. I believe there was an issue with MoneyGram, and he's trying to receive his money back from them.
That is correct, and we still have not. I wanted to get it by the end of the day yesterday to make it whole. We still haven't received it today, but we did speak to family today, and we can submit full payment. I know we've met several times now, and I don't want to waste any more time. But we can submit payment for the whole amount through their online process. Yes, it's just it's just not. Yeah, we just had to ask for help because our money hasn't been returned from MoneyGram.
So when can you pay this full amount?
I literally talked to my parents this morning.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
I talked to my parents this morning.
When?
I talked to my parents this morning, and we can do it this weekend at any point. The online portal is open all the time, so it can be done now, today, whatever.
Okay, so you can pay the 4,645. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to issue a judgment for possession, finding no tribal issue after a hearing. You get that paid, no writ before the 7th of May. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, absolutely. So just pay before writ issued, pay now, and there's no issue going forward. Continue the lease.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Real good. Thank you. Court does call the case of Whitaker Oaks versus Marjani Green.
Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff.
Marjani Green.
Marjani Green and Daniel Keener. And how much is owing now?
Balance due is $2,754.16. Brianna Kingsley for the plaintiff. I'm not sure if I put my appearance on the record.
Okay.
Balance is $2,754.16. We were here last week. Ms. Green had indicated that Hawk had approved her. However, I confirmed that she did receive a non-renewal notice. My office did issue her a formal notice to quit. It expires May 2nd. So I think at this point, my client would like to have possession of the property back. And it's my understanding that Hawk would not assist with payment. They would assist with relocation assistance in that sense.
Is that all correct, Ms. Green?
Yes, that's my understanding. I did try to reach out because Hawk said if they would extend the lease, then they would be willing to pay it. But I haven't been able to get in touch with the office. So.
Okay. So have you sought relocation fees or services through?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out at this point because I don't really know what I can do further.
Okay, so what I'll do is this. You're not disputing the amount owed. They're gonna. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna issue a judgment for possession to the plaintiff for this amount. Finding no tribal issue after a hearing, but you need to get back in touch with SOS or Hawk regarding relocation assistance. And so no writ before the 9th of May.
All right, I will prepare.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Green. Good luck.
Thank you.
And I have Northfield Estates versus Costco, Sile Farms versus Dest, Sile Farms versus Rousseau, Sile Farms versus Leany, and all of those matters are dismissed on plaintiff's motion without prejudice.
Very much. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. You do the same. Take care.
Bye.
Is that it for us? Yep. 14A stands adjourned.